of Atlanta, Valley Sports South, and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan.
Champions Week continues at Truist Park on a beautiful Monday for baseball, where Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. We begin divisional play tonight. The Braves play host to their rivals from Washington. The Nationals are here in town as Huascar Ynoa is set to make his season debut on the mound for the Braves. Manny Pena will be behind the plate, and Nelson Cruz, the veteran slugger, is in the Washington lineup. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Jeff, great to be back with you for Braves baseball. What an opening series. Atlanta splits 4 with the Reds, and Matt Olson, I think, Jeff, has had a very happy homecoming.
Well, I'll tell you what, he likes it here in Atlanta so far in 4 games. And, you know, Snit said it best today. Good thing that he kind of came over here 27, 28, and not 23 years old. I think he's, you know, knows who he is as a player. He had a great year last year. And he came here and looked really relaxed these first 4 games. Took 2 walks the first game and then 8 hits the next 3 games. And, you know, right now he just continues to kind of shoulder the load for this offense. But the other good thing, he hits lefties great. 22 home runs against lefties last year. And who they facing tonight? A left-handed pitcher.
That's what Matt did against the Reds. 8 for 14, his first homer, a cannon shot to straightaway center field. And for the Braves, Jeff, we touched on this briefly in pregame. Sense of normalcy tonight, I guess.
Yeah, finally you get a chance to show up, play a game, and do what you do every day. Last 4 days have been great, but for this team, it's time to kind of slowly get ready for 2022.
Well, Huascar Ynoa is on the mound, and he's also, well, unfortunately not going to be at the plate. Remember, he hit a grand slam against these guys last year, and we'll see if Atlanta can calm down Juan Soto. Our first look at the Nationals as divisional play begins for the Braves at Truist Park, with lineups and first pitch next.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
It's a beautiful night in Atlanta, where opening week is presented by FTX, the official crypto exchange of Major League Baseball. It is a huge crowd tonight. 40,000 fans getting their World Series replica rings. Jeff, they were lined up here 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon to make sure they got their place in line.
Yeah, they're giving 40,000 away, but they wanted to make sure they got one.
Yeah. And Huascar Ynoa is on the mound for the Braves tonight, making his season debut. Huascar, as you know, had an up-and-down year last season. Look what he did in his first 8 starts. After he broke his hand, Jeff, he wasn't quite the same pitcher.
No, I felt like that slider never really got back to where it was the first half of the season. So for him, hopefully an off-season to kind of rest up. And look, if you can get anywhere you were that first half with Huascar, it's a huge pickup.
And he's facing a very different-looking Nationals lineup for their skipper, Davey Martinez. Cesar Hernandez, the former Philly, leads off their Toyota starting 9. They brought in 41-year-old Nelson Cruz to protect Juan Soto, who bats second. Josh Bell, their cleanup man. Yadiel Hernandez in left field is a veteran player. Lane Thomas, a former Cardinal. Look, we all know what the Nationals are, or we think we do. Finished in last place last season, Jeff, and with that in mind, your forward keys for the Braves as they enter divisional play tonight.
Well, for Huascar, back to the future. First 8 starts we just showed you were outstanding last year. Hopefully we see more of that. And then attitude. Look, the Nats are rebuilding right now. Last year the Braves took, 14 and 19 from them. When you got the Mets, Phillies, you know they're going to be good. You've got to take care of your division. Something the Braves have done really well the last 4 years.
And as great as Champions Week has been and is, I'm sure from the players' perspective, a sense of normalcy again today.
Yeah, a Monday where you just show up, you have your meetings, and you play a game.
So we'll see how this game unfolds tonight. Cesar Hernandez will lead off for Washington. 21 homer man last year between Cleveland and the White Sox. We saw him a lot with the Philadelphia Phillies. And you know his first pitch is whacked into left field. That's curling near the line, and that is going to be a fair ball. It hits the chalk. And Hernandez, a big turnaround first, will stop there. And one pitch, one base runner. And that's how the game begins for Ynoa. Some tough luck.
Cesar didn't even know where that ball was. Did you notice that when he hit it? He didn't even run. Look, watch Chip. Look at him. See? He didn't even know where that ball is at first.
Just a little pop-up that kissed the chalk down the third base line, and Mark Carlson signaled fair ball. And now you face Juan Soto with a runner aboard. Soto, one homer away from 100 in his major league career. And like Joey Votto, Jeff, one of the game's great strike zone masters. This guy is an unbelievable player. Look at that OPS.
Yeah, from an offensive standpoint, probably the best hitter in baseball, just pure hitter. He's tough. He does not go out of the zone much. Huascar, good numbers though last year. 3 starts, 1-0 with a 1.06 versus the Nats.
Kind of odd to see Soto batting just .214. The Mets held him to 3 hits in their 4-game series.
Well, and that's the one thing you wonder, Chip, as the season goes on. Last year, I know he kind of still took his walks, but you worry about a guy trying to expand to do too much because, look, when you face this lineup, I'm sure the Braves say, he's not beating us.
Hernandez has a good lead, 2-0 the count, and a swing and a miss. We talked a moment ago about protection in the lineup. That's what Nelson Cruz hopes to provide Juan Soto. When we say protection for a hitter from a former hitter standpoint, what does that mean?
Well, it gives you a chance to, you're still as good as Nelson Cruz is. You're going to challenge Cruz more than you're going to challenge Soto, but at least you have somebody behind you that gives a threat. You know, and I've said it for years, for that 2-3 year stretch. That's what really, for Freddie, those years in Atlanta was tough. He didn't really have anybody hitting behind him. And then all of a sudden you had Josh Donaldson, Marcell Ozuna, Austin Riley. So that's kind of what you're talking about when you got someone behind you that people are scared of.
2 balls and a strike. And Soto, mighty cut, pops it back and out of play. And Ynoa back even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a perfect baseball night. Little cloud cover. 68 degrees officially at first pitch. And not a vacant seat here at Truist Park. Expecting big crowds tomorrow and again on Wednesday afternoon when the Braves wrap up their first homestand. Gentle breeze, as you see, out of the south. Flags blowing from left to right toward the chop house. Braves shift now with a 2-2 count. And Pena, nice stop. And this is what makes Soto so tough. He's got power, but he is more than happy to pass the baton to the men behind him in this Nationals lineup.
The good thing for Huascar, though, fastball sitting at about 98, so it's got the velocity.
It's an important group of innings for Ynoa, especially with Ian Anderson pitching so briefly yesterday. Anderson went 2 2/3 innings. Braves had to use 4 guys in the bullpen to wrap up the game against Cincinnati yesterday. So full count. Let's see if Hernandez is running. Good lead, not going. And the pitch is in the dirt. Soto takes ball 4, 2 on, nobody out. Here's a look at our FTX umpires tonight. We'll get our first look at Angel Hernandez calling balls and strikes. Jim Wolf, DJ Rayburn, and the crew chief is Mark Carlson. There's DJ, there's Mark. And Mark's at third base tonight. So here's Nelson Cruz. What is he going to bring to Washington, Jeff?
Well, he's first going to be a DH, and that's why they're able to get him with the DH now in the National League. But he's 30, 35 home runs. Going to strike out, but he's going to hit some long balls too. I think he had his first one of the day season yesterday.
Did like that call from Angel Hernandez. This guy is an amazing man, 41 years old and playing like players 2 decades younger still. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Great numbers with the Minnesota Twins. Those numbers dropped off a bit when he went to Tampa Bay last year. But getting a fresh start with Washington here in 2022. Some attributed that offensive drop off to playing your home games in Tropicana Field. Not an easy hitter's background when you're used to batting in the bright sunshine and outdoors at Target Field in Minneapolis.
And Minneapolis has one of the best hitting backgrounds. That big old black wall out there, I mean, it is one of the best.
The 1-2. Out of play foul. That's headed for the third deck. And Nelson Cruz, he is still alive. A ball and 2 strikes. As Jeff said, Ynoa's wipeout pitch is that slider. See if he can get Cruz to chase one here. Soto and Hernandez lead. The pitch bounced up there, and it's 2-2. This is kind of what plagued Ian Anderson yesterday. Jeff, changeup was in the dirt. The fastball was shoulder high. He could never really find the mark.
Well, he's gotten ahead of Nelson Cruz. Problem is when a pitch misses that bad like that, you don't. It's really doesn't do a lot as far as making the hitter think too much. Let him back in the count.
Well, here's where you want action. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I love to see climb that ladder with the fastball. Good hard fastball.
Little tapper trickling down the line. That's kissing the chalk. Still rolling, and it is foul. Oh man, did Manny Pena have to be patient. Look at him. We got to manicure that foul line and make it tilt toward foul ground, don't we?
I don't know if it's going to turn. Look at this thing.
Oh man, that is close.
Well, Manny did a good job too of waiting just a little extra time to make sure it wasn't had any part of the white chalk.
"13 pitches for Ynoa, nobody out, 2 base runners, a blue pit and a walk. Have 2 aboard. Didn't chase it. Full count. Big pitch in this game already. Only the 15th of the night coming for Ynoa. And Cruz wants to think it over a moment.
Problem with your slider here is it's tough to hang one to throw for a strike to a guy like Nelson. I'd almost like to see a fastball. If you throw that slider, it's got to be on the outside corner. And then with that, you don't know that you get a guy like him to chase.
He hasn't in this sequence yet. That last pitch was clearly off the plate. And so now we'll see if the Nationals put their runners in motion with Josh Bell on deck in a 3-2 pitch. They're not running, and it's a ground ball to the right side. Ozzy's got it. Second base, 1. No chance to turn it. A little bobble by Dansby. The Braves, though, getting out at second base, and runners are at the corners now with 1 out.
And I like that move. Fastball. You can see he was a little bit late respecting that slider too.
Well, you got the 1. Now you can get another ground ball perhaps from Josh Bell and get the inning over with. Nats have a lot of left-handed switch hitting bats in this lineup, trying to take away that a slider tonight.
Yeah, you'd love to get that a strikeout double play. Even with that, Chip, fly ball and sac fly ain't the worst thing to get out of this when you had first, second, Nelson Cruz up there and a good count.
Bell has a homer and 2 RBIs in the early going. And has 4 hits in his first 13 at bats. Just 2 strikeouts for him. Nationals enter play Held to a 164 team batting average in their 4-game series with the Mets. Braves are 2-2 on the year. Washington 1-3 after their first series. Right now, Huascar doesn't have a go-to pitch. 2-0 the count. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike.
Bell definitely double play candidate. 22 double plays last year.
One here would be just what the doctor ordered. 2 balls and a strike. He's back in the count, 2-2. Again, you have to apply a little grace to the starting pitchers of every major league team these first couple of starts. Very few innings pitched with the shortened spring training. So as Ian Anderson said yesterday, he's trying to find his way when the games count. That's not easy. The pitch a little low, didn't chase it. Full count again.
I think everybody's just in different spots. I mean, obviously you saw Kyle Wright, Charlie Morton, they came out ready to go, but you know, everybody's different. Some people need more innings, some people need more at bats. But the issue too is a win here is the same as a win in September.
Well, what do you throw here to Josh Bell, the switch hitting first baseman?
Slider.
It was, and he swung over the top of it. Good call, Jeff. Big strikeout for Ynoa, and 2 are out.
There's some guys you can use aggressiveness. A guy like Nelson Cruz, to me, doesn't go out of the zone much. Bell here, 3-2. And that's a good pitch because it started up enough, Chip, where he thought that was a strike for sure. Great pitch. Now you got a chance to get out of this.
Ynoa struck out 100 men last year. 70 came on that slider.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the better sliders in all of baseball. And think about it. First 8 starts last year. He's one of the better pitchers, best pitcher on the Braves, the better pitchers in the National League. We were saying he was going to go to the All-Star game to me at that point if he kept it up, but he was pretty much 2 pitches. Fastball and that slider.
This is Keibert Ruiz, who came over from the Dodgers. Young catcher. Ruiz off to a good start at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes to him. Ynoa's had to labor here in the first inning. He's pitched behind in the count quite a bit. But so far, knock on wood, the Nats haven't scored. First and third, 2 outs. Lifted left side, that's curling toward the seats. Two and 1. Hernandez a blue pit. Soto walked and was forced. Cruz at first on a force play. Bell just struck out for the second out. Now Ynoa with pitch number 25 ready to go with Keibert Ruiz. The pitch. 2-2. That ball boring in on his hands. First time this big crowd's made some noise tonight.
Yeah, what's this? I think they've seen, recognize Huascar kind of grinding it away out there. Chance to get out of this first inning.
2 on, nobody out, and back-to-back strikeouts puts a goose egg on the board for Washington. Here come the Braves at home, no score. Now here come the Braves on Champions Week. Ozzie Albies atop the Toyota starting lineup. Matt Olson's had a huge start to his Braves career for Brian Snitker. Riley Ozuna Duvall, time to get those guys going. Orlando Arcia is the Braves designated hitter today and a spot starter for the Washington Nationals. This was supposed to be Anibal Sanchez's start, but he's hurt. Instead, they bring up Josh Rogers from the minor leagues to pitch in game 1.
You get called up before he even made a start in the minor leagues, but you see that last season, 6 starts, pretty good little record for him. Low 90s fastball, mostly 4-seam chip, and kind of splits between that slider and change. Not overpowering, but you saw him 6 starts last year, held his own up here.
Has kind of a funky delivery, a lot of moving parts. You'll see some shoulder waggle and all that. As Ozzie Albies digs in and takes low. Rogers also an amazing story. Not 1 but 2 Tommy John surgeries.
Yeah.
And still trying to work it out in the major leagues. Ozzie kills left-handed pitching. That's why he's leading off tonight and didn't get that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice to have a lifetime .338 hitter against left-handed pitchers start your night offensively. Ozzie off to a 1 for 12 start at the plate. And out of play. It's 1-2.
Ozzie got off that slow start last year, if you remember, too. It's tough, you know. You don't ever want to, but sometimes, like I said, it takes guys just a little bit to get into it.
Spring training was short for the hitters,
Yeah.
too. Rifle down the right field line. That's a fair ball. That's going to head for the corner. Ozzie on his way to second. Soto digs it out. It's a leadoff double for Ozzie Albies.
Now, that's what you love to see, taking it the other way. Perfect job. Ball up and out over the plate. See him just throw the hands at it. Simple swing.
So his second hit, a ringing double. Boy, I love it when he's line to line. That's an encouraging sign as Matt Olson digs in. 3 straight multi-hit games for the Braves first baseman. We've talked about it a lot already. Matt has had excellent numbers against left-handed pitching. And Jeff, I can't think of a better way for a man to start his Braves career than the way he did against the Reds.
Oh, that had to feel good to get out of the gate like that. Really give you some confidence.
Back where it came from, up the middle. They look to third and throw to first. Albies moves up on a ground ball up the middle. Alcides Escobar thought about making a throw to third, but to stay out of a big inning, made the smart play and took care of Olson.
100% smart play. You throw that ball over, you take the chance chip of hitting him in the back.
And Ozzie and Wash are at it again.
Yep. Yeah, good job by Matt. Hit it hard up the middle, got him over, and now Austin Riley chance here. Ground ball anywhere in the infield, you got to run.
Austin's off to a good start. He's got 5 hits already. And pops this one up. Foul ground. Bell gives chase over near the Braves dugout, and it's going to stay in play. And wisely, Michael Franco came to the plate to cover just in case Ozzie thought about tagging up.
I'll tell you what, that's the worst feeling as a hitter right there. Austin got a good pitch to hit. Just got under a little bit. That's where you're, you know, yelling at the ball below, get out, but that first base side always comes back. Marcel, good day yesterday. Last couple days.
He's got 4 hits now. Braves had some 2-out RBI opportunities against the Reds. Struggled at times with run scoring hits. They had 1 of them with 2 outs in that 4-game series. This would be a great spot and a great way to start this series. And in for a strike for the Braves left fielder. First divisional game of the year. These are big games. You want to win the East as tightly as this race figures to be all year long. You got to beat up on the teams that figure to have rough years. Hopefully the Braves can take care of business against Washington, and that's an excellent start. Ozuna drives home Albies, and the Braves take the first lead of the night.
You know, you mentioned it 2 nights ago, Chip. It's a good sign when you see Marcell hitting singles like that. That was what he did 2 years ago when he hit, what, 328 or 330. Yes, we saw the home runs, we saw the power. We also saw just that. Gets a pitch in here and just drops the head on. Look at that hole out there. It's a free, give yourself an RBI. Keep it going.
Braves are 2-0 this year when they score the first run of the game. That's a trend we hope continues this evening as Marcell Ozuna makes it 1-0 for Adam Duvall. Nice stop by Ruiz. 1 ball, no strikes.
Now, these next 3 hitters for the Braves, you know, slow start, like you said, 4 games. Hopefully, as you said, with kind of the celebration over, getting back to baseball, you'll see these guys pick up because they all 3, Duvall, Rosario, Swanson, had great postseasons.
That grazed the inside corner for Adam Duvall, who's 2 for 14 at the plate so far this year. Duvall, in the last 11 games he's played against Washington, has destroyed them. 6 homers and 11 RBIs. Dating back to last year. This one, though, a mile-high pop-up. Ruiz staggers and makes the play on the warning track, and that'll retire the side. Atlanta cashes in a leadoff double, and Ozuna RBI single makes it 1-0. Marcell Ozuna RBI hit. The Nationals threatened but couldn't break through as Huascar Ynoa had a lot of traffic, but a couple of big strikeouts got him out of his first inning of the season. Again, it's Champions Week and it's replica ring night, and we've got a packed house here at Truist Park. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit here in Atlanta. Buy and manage your game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Yadiel Hernandez will lead off for Washington. And on the first pitch, he smacks one the other way. So the second leadoff man aboard in as many innings for the Nationals.
Last time up, Cesar Hernandez, first pitch, went after it. This time, same thing. Went the other way. You know, you see players like Hernandez there. I've always said guys like him should do that so much more often if they're going to play the shift, you know, to give him a chance.
This is Lane Thomas, former Cardinal. He will forever be able to say, I was traded for John Lester.
Yeah.
Lester went to St. Louis for the stretch run, and Lane Thomas getting a chance to roam the outfield. Great speed. Last year hit .235 with 28 RBIs. So if you get a ground ball, you might have to hurry to get him. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. It is jarringly different looking at this Nationals team, Jeff, just 2 years after their world championship. No Rendon, no Zimmerman.
Yeah, and from an offensive standpoint, though, they got some guys in, like you said, with Cruz and Bell. Pitching is where they're so different.
Yeah, no Trey Turner. Of course, Bryce Harper already gone. And this year, Max Scherzer's now a Met, and Steven Strasburg had late thoracic outlet syndrome surgery. They don't know when he's going to come back.
Corbin's legitimately the only guy that they have left from that run.
So, opportunity for these young Nationals. As Lane Thomas behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Ynoa struck him out. 3 strikeouts for Huáscar Ynoa. He's our Georgia Natural Gas Impact Player of the game.
No, you just saw that fastball he threw there, and as we talked about last year, 3 starts. And as you said earlier in the open, don't forget the grand slam he hit off Tanner Rainey on May 4th up in DC.
Yeah, there was a stretch for Huáscar last year where he had more RBIs than runs allowed.
Oh, he was dropping bombs.
It was unbelievable, that home run in DC. He was giving Max Fried a run for his Silver Slugger money.
And leading up to that start in Milwaukee, his first 7 last year, 4-1 with a 2.29.
Yeah, he hit the wall or the bench in Milwaukee out of frustration, and the hand started feeling funny on the charter flight home. When he got back to Atlanta, they took a picture and found the fracture. And as you said, Jeff, I agree with you. He was on his way to, if not serious consideration, maybe an all.
I really do think he's going to be an all-star. The way he was pitching.
So, new season, new opportunity for the Braves right-hander who was acquired from the Minnesota Twins for Jaime Garcia several years ago. Pitch. And Michael Franco, the former Philly, bounces that foul. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, it's Phillies, then he went to the Royals. Well, I remember when I was in Philly in 15 and he was a rookie. He was really, really good.
Two balls and a strike. Hernandez a very short lead at first. Braves have a 2nd inning lead. Line to left. That'll be on a hard hop to Ozuna. And 2 are on for the bottom of the order. Alcides Escobar, Ronald Acuna Jr.'s cousin.
You can see the power that Franco has. It's a fastball. That ball was scalded.
So the Nats threaten again. 2 on, 1 out for Escobar, who's playing shortstop. That's what he did in 75 games last year. Well, they are getting after that first pitch, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, Huáscar's coming with that fastball first pitch, majority time over the plate. You said it's an aggressive hitting team.
I think they're going to have to be. This is not a power-packed offensive lineup.
Yeah.
Outside of Soto, Cruz, and Bell. They already let 1 scoring opportunity slip through their fingers in the first. Ynoa trying to make lightning strike twice here in the second with an 0-2 count on Escobar, the 9th place hitter. Cesar Hernandez waits on deck. Did Ynoa go to his mouth?
It had to be because the Braves don't use the
pitch con.
Yeah.
So I guess Angel Hernandez
Said
warned him.
warning, yeah.
Don't do it again. Escobar might have noticed that and asked Angel Hernandez to intervene. No balls, 2 strikes. Back to the mound. Ynoa blocks it, hesitates, fires to second and high. Fields it cleanly and remembers the situation. Might have gotten 2, but they get the force at second for out number 2.
I'll tell you what, really good job, Chip, by Ozzie, knowing at this point, watch this, ball's just right back at him. But this ball is starting to sail, and watch Ozzie does a good job knowing I got to get 1 right here. No man's land for Michael Franco. Yeah, you're kind of hung out to dry on that one.
So first and third again for Washington with 2 outs in the second inning. One ball, no strikes. Oh, what a stop by Pena. That saved a run. And if you know one needed to work on his delivery out of the stretch, Jeff, he's had plenty of practice. 38 of 40 pitches have come out of the stretch in this game. What a play by.
And look, when you're catching Huascar, I mean, you got to know you're going to be getting down, blocking some balls. Manny, great job.
Angel Hernandez giving Manny a little extra time, it looks like.
I think that ball hit his hand.
Hernandez and Escobar, the runners at the corners for the Nats. Braves lead by a run. 2-0 count. Dangerous pitch. On the ground, right to Matt Olson, and the 41st pitch of tonight's game ends the inning. Nats threaten, don't score. Still 1-0 Braves. Presented by Truist. Champions Week continues on a perfect night for baseball. Happy Monday. Braves lead it 1-0. And here in the Atlanta second, Rosario, Swanson, and Manny Pena are scheduled against Josh Rogers, the Washington starter.
You know, Huascar, 2 innings in a row, trouble, but he's been able to skate out of it.
Rosario takes high, 1 ball, no strikes. Eddie 1 for 14 to start the year. Big shift on for him.
Talk about it, Matt Olson hitting lefties good. Rosario for his career, 275 versus lefties and 274 against righties. So well on both sides. The big shift they're playing on him.
Got the corner called there. 2 balls and a strike. Josh Rogers, a great story, coming back from 2 Tommy John surgeries. By today's standards, doesn't throw particularly hard. And I would imagine after Hunter Green yesterday throwing 102 miles an hour, this guy's 90 miles an hour might look like a changeup.
Yeah, right.
Hunter Green started and won for the Reds yesterday. And the Braves at 2-2, trying to get back over 500 with their first matchup with the Nats tonight. Full count pitch. On the ground into the shift. And the peg to first in time. Rosario is retired, 1 man down.
Got that ball in on Rosario.
Poof, you don't have to throw hard. Put it in your right spot.
That's the thing. He throws that slider just enough off that plate that he keeps those hitters honest where they can't really kind of dig in on that fastball.
Maybe tonight's the night we get Dansby going. Eight strikeouts for the Braves shortstop in the early going. See if he can put the ball in play here against Josh Rogers.
Change up.
And at the knees, and Dansby behind 1-2.
look where the shift they're playing. I mean, this is a big shift with Hernandez a good 10-15 yards. So here were 2 strikes now. Shorten up, look to put something in play on the right side.
That's his best stroke, I think.
Well, and when you do that, it keeps you from going after that pitch. Now lets you get back in the count 2-2, and you still have that whole side of the infield.
Little pop hit toward Bell. He broke his bat. Tried to go to right.
Yeah.
But again, Rogers was able to jam the Braves shortstop. Manny Pena, the hitter. But first, a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Manny Pena, who's been bothered by a bit of a wrist problem the last couple of days. So the Braves playing things cautiously. Had William Contreras catch Kyle Wright. That combo worked out very well.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Taken low for Manny. 1 ball, no strikes. Pena, late of the Milwaukee Brewers. Boy, he had a lot of fun catching their pitching staff, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's been a great throw and catch guy. He's got some power.
Angel Hernandez has a generous inside corner and high inside corner so far.
You can see that ball's a good bit up.
Well, but if Manny's going to have it called, he's going to have a bird's eye view behind the plate, and he'll want that pitch for Huascar Ynoa.
Yeah, and a hitter, like anything, you get to know these umpires over the years. I mean, it's, you know, certain umpires, you're not going to leave it up to them to send you back to the dugout, put it that way.
Check swing and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Kind of hides the ball too. I don't know if you notice that, kind of, because like that pitch 92 and gets on, it's kind of getting on him quick.
Is it hard to time a guy like this with that kind of rock the baby to sleep start to his motion?
Yeah, and then just knowing he's 84th, the change up, got the cutter in. It's kind of crafty, you know.
As all left-handers seem to be, right? 2 balls, 2 strikes. And on the ground to Escobar at short. He'll glove, grab, and gun. And Rogers has a 1-2-3 second. 1-0 Braves after 2.
Brian Snitker, you could see the astonishment all over his face when he received that championship ring, put it on his finger there, just disbelief, and he got to share the moment with his grandsons right here and Ronnie, who were at Truist Park, and the gratitude in his voice evident when he told me all the people he'd think of every time he took a look at that ring. Of course, at the top of his list right here, legendary Brave skipper Bobby Cox. They share such a special friendship and bond, and this morning he was able to deliver the beautiful piece of jewelry to Bobby. A picture right there as priceless as the ring, and he told me all Bobby could say was really, gosh dang, gosh dang, gosh dang. Of course, it was a little more colorful than that, guys, but as you can imagine, just astonished as well, I think, and pretty much loving that bling. But I know it was really cool. Brian told me this afternoon, guys, that Alex Anthopoulos came to him and said, you need to be the one to give this ring to Bobby. And so I think it was a special morning between those two.
Kelly, I've played for Bobby for 5.5 years, and I've never seen him smile like that. So I know. And yes, it was probably a little more colorful than that, what he said.
Yeah, he was bringing the noise for sure.
But yeah, I mean, that's a special relationship there. You know, learned a lot under Bobby, third base coach under Bobby, and of course, one of the first people to call him when he got the job was Bobby.
And Skipper, hope you're enjoying the ball game. Hope you're enjoying the start to the season for the Braves. We miss you, we love you, and hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Hope he's wearing that ring.
You know he is. Gosh darn.
Kelly did a good job, you know.
She did. Family show.
Family
Way to go, Kel.
Yep.
2 balls, no strikes for Juan Soto, who walked his first time up.
It's good to see Bobby smile too, isn't it, in that pick?
Fantastic. This is what I think has Nationals fans worried. You touched on this earlier, Jeff. I don't know if he'll break Barry Bonds' record for walks, but there will be a lot of teams that are to pitch him like they did Barry.
If he continues his discipline, he'll walk 150 times this year. And, you know, that's, like you said, that's what you kind of worry. Is he going to ever expand?
You know, it gave him nothing to hit, so Soto is aboard twice via base on balls. And now.
But with that being said, you know, you got Cruz and Bell coming up behind them, can do some damage. You just hate when you get a couple guys on every inning, you're just playing with fire. Eventually you feel like someone's going to come up with a big hit. Here again, leadoff hitter on.
And pitch count. Look, again, it's, you know, his first start, and the Braves haven't announced their starter for tomorrow. A lot of how that decision comes about is how they get there tonight. There's some high pitch counts for the Braves relief corps in yesterday's game. And that's inside the bag, fair down the right field line. Nelson Cruz is going to have a base hit. And the Nats have runners at first and third. Cruz fell down, and Olsen did not get there in time. Great try by Rosario to nail him by throwing behind the runner, and they almost picked off Nelson Cruz.
You know what? Matt turned around, looked for second, saw he was going to beat him back, and then Cruz fell. Good job by Rosario here, knowing how you got it quick, threw it right behind him, and see right there.
So again, Jeff, 2 men on for the Nationals in their third straight inning. Josh Bell killed the first inning scoring chance with a strikeout for the second out of the inning. See if Manoah can turn the trick again. Already 5 opportunities for the Nationals to hit with a runner in scoring position tonight. They do not yet have a hit. With a man at second or third, they do have 4 hits total. And Manoah pushing toward 50 pitches in the game. And we're tied at base hit. So first and second, nobody out. Walk single for the Nationals. The leadoff walk comes home to roost. Soto scores. It's a 1-1 game.
It's a second straight slider now we've seen, Chip, that's kind of just hung. Hadn't had sharp break on it like, to me, we saw some the first couple innings.
So Josh Bell is off to a good start at the plate this season as his first hit and RBI in the series. And Keipert Ruiz, the catcher, will dig in. Switch hitter. Part of that big haul the Nationals got back with Scherzer and Turner going to Los Angeles. Josiah Gray, young right-hander, also came back. We'll see him on Wednesday when the Braves wrap up the homestand. Max Fried will hopefully send us to San Diego with a win on Wednesday. We'll hope you'll join us for that.
I think you're going to see whether it's Tucker Davidson or Strider. I think we're going to have our answer real quick. Who's going to be the starter tomorrow? Whoever gets up now. I just heard the phone ring. You're at 50 pitches now.
Two balls, no strikes. And fouled away. Ruiz upset. He had a pitch to hit and didn't get it. Nobody up and throwing in the pen yet. The pitch. Lifted foul, 2-2. Factor in too that with the short outing by Ian Anderson yesterday, Sean Newcomb, Colin McHugh, and Tyler Thornburg all pitched in multiple innings. I would assume all three of those guys are down tonight.
Hey, whoever comes in at some point, hopefully it's not for another couple innings, but probably gonna end up logging 3 or so.
Shift on for Ruiz. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the kid catcher steps out for the Nationals. That skips away from Pena. He can't find it. It's by the Braves on deck circle, and everybody moves up 90 feet. So that takes away the double play chance on a wild pitch. And they're at second and third now, and still nobody out.
Yeah, never had a chance at that ball.
This is the 4th full count Ynoa has dealt with against this Nationals offense so far. They've walked 2, one of them scored. And now a 3-2 pitch to Ruiz, and he struck him out. Ruiz went up and out of the strike zone. That'll help, and a big first out in the 3rd inning for Ynoa.
Got him to expand. See, that's that slider, and you can see Huascar look down. Look at that chip. It just kind of backs up. Like I said, it's not got that bite to it right now.
You know the old saying, you never forget your first impression, right?
Yep.
I think this is a season where, for young starters in particular, you really are going to have to forget your first impressions. This is in many ways still spring training for them. You saw that with Ian last night. You're seeing that with Ynoa tonight. There just isn't the same crispness that we were so accustomed to seeing from both of those men in 2021. But he's still got a tie game. He's got a chance to get out of it here. Yadiel Hernandez, the batter. He singled the other way to start his night. That was back in the 2nd.
I think it's telling you a lot too, with nobody warming up right now, how much the pitchers had to cover yesterday, like you talked about.
Yeah, Ynoa's kind of acting as his own relief pitcher at this point.
Remember, no off days.
Right, 14 in a row to start the year for Atlanta. As that finds the mark. Hernandez didn't think much of that.
2-0 as a hitter, you're not happy with that call, but for Huascar, you got a break now. Come back right here.
Two-one pitch. Well, the slider's been in and out. The fastball's been in and out for Huascar so far. What's he feature here? 3-1. Good hard fastball. And that fills up the count. Boy, a strikeout here would be big.
I get the righty on deck, but again with 3-2 count, if he could dial up that slider that he threw Bell in the first inning with good bite, Chip, to me, that's the pitch right here.
So here we go, partner, 3-2. Little tapper had him out in front, but Hernandez fought it off. Lane Thomas would be next. Dave Martinez led the Nationals to a world title in 2019. They didn't get to really celebrate it in customary fashion because 2020 was the COVID year. The payoff again. Little tapper back to the mound. Contact. Cruz coming home, and Pena applies the tag. That'll help. A comebacker. 1-2 put out. First and third, 2 away. Still tied at 1.
I'll tell you what, great job by Huascar too. Some people get that ball and kind of panic and throw it really quick. Knowing he had Cruz at third base. Look at this. He takes his time, gives Manny a good toss. Right here. I like that. You throw it overhand a lot of times. You never make that throw, Chip, and you'll spike it, kind of throw it up. He gives him a good toss. Great tag.
That's where all that PFP work on the backfields pays off, right?
Yeah, well, and yeah, being under control, that's where you see people panic all the time.
So Huascar, dancing through the raindrops here, has a chance to get out of it with first and third for Lane Thomas. First pitch popped foul, out of play, strike 1. Thomas and Victor Robles sharing some of the center field duties for the Nationals. Tonight it's Thomas's turn to play. And Spencer Strider has gotten up and has begun to play catch in the bullpen as Ynoa up to 62 pitches. Getting right after Thomas like that. It's 0-2. If Ynoa can keep the damage to 1, that would be one whale of a job.
Yeah, you talk about second and third, no outs, already a run in. That's why Huascar, you know you don't have your great stuff right now, but if you can make one more pitch here, feels like a huge momentum shift.
First and third. Now a 1-2 count. Boy, what a luxury it is to have a guy like Manny Pena behind the plate. Try to get a chase on a ball in the dirt. You know he's going to block it, and he did. He's done it a handful of times already. Now the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball wallop left center field. Ozuna on the run, still going. It is off the top of the wall. 1 run scores. Another runner streaking around third. Here comes the relay to the plate. It's not going to be in time. And Lane Thomas with a 2-strike count splits the gap in left and puts the Nationals in front.
Well, you said it, you give too many chances. This is a fastball up in the zone. Look at him, short, quick hands. And you just had so many guys on base all night, Chip. Like you said, it takes one hit like that, and there it was.
So Rick Kranitz on his way to the mound. That'll buy some more time for Spencer Strider to get loose if needed. Nationals have taken the lead, 3-1 your score as the Braves chat. Let's enjoy a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
Well, try to limit the damage here. Michael Franco singled his first time up. Three runs on 6 hits. Nats aren't done in the 3rd inning yet. Braves gave up 5 runs in the 3rd inning on Sunday, you might recall. Again, this is what we've seen all around Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and Huascar, you wonder with the pitch buildup. The only reason I say that is you're starting to see that fastball dip down to 94, 95 instead of that 98. Good reason Thomas was able to get on top of that fastball.
High fly ball hammered left. Ozuna going back, and Michael Franco deposits that into the Washington bullpen. So another 5-run inning in the 3rd inning on back-to-back days. Ynoa 69 pitches, serves up a long home run to Michael Franco, and the Nationals have a 5-1 lead.
See the replay, but look at that spinning slider just kind of over the plate. So the first 2 innings, even with that slider, though, when he missed down. Now it's just kind of floating, and that was 3 in a row to Franco.
So we got some work to do tonight, partner. Alcides Escobar is the hitter.
Got the offense to do it, but gonna have to score.
And all this trouble started with that leadoff walk to Juan Soto. 4 straight pitches, none of them close. And that's how to play even count.
And that's the thing. I think, look, yeah, he's a great hitter, but you know, he still is going to make outs. You got a couple guys on. I understand you being a little more careful with them, but with nobody on, those 4 pitches weren't really close either.
Little tapper. Manny says he's got it, and his peg to first is in plenty of time, and that retires the side. A 5-run 3rd. Michael Franco's 2-run homer, the big blow, and that's now lead it by 4. Nationals are not being pleasant guests because of that man. A 2-run homer, 5 runs on 7 hits in the first 3 innings for Washington. They were subdued by the Mets in the first 4 games of the series. And we'll see if the Braves can mount a rally against Josh Rogers and perhaps the Nationals bullpen.
7 innings left to hit, so plenty of time. Love a big inning, but at the same time chip away. A couple runs here.
Rogers has been relatively efficient. This one's poked out towards center. Lane Thomas makes the easy play. 1 out. He's set down 5 in a row now. Has Rogers, and has thrown 31 pitches to get the first 7 outs of the game. And we go back to the top. Ozzie Albies hit a double down the first base line to start the game for the Braves. He scored on Ozuna's first inning hit. Rogers looking pretty comfortable with a 4-run lead. Working quickly, nice pace, and getting the ball in on the hands of these Braves. And Ozzie on 3 pitches is down on strikes. First one of those for Rogers in the game. Quickly, 2 outs. All the momentum right now, Jeff, in the Nationals dugout.
Well, he's working quick. Ball's just a little slider, actually trying to go in and missed out over the plate. Or sometimes here you want to call time and back up and just make him wait a minute. You can see he itching to go.
Well, Bossie didn't hurt his hand with that swing. Remember, he got hit in the back as well in that Cincinnati series with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So we'll keep an eye on that. Matt Olson 0 for 1, grounded out to short. He got jammed and pokes that toward Lane Thomas, and a very quick and easy inning for Rogers. 1, 2, 3 and out go the Braves, and we're off to the 4th.
On Thursday, Spencer Strider, 2 innings of no-hit ball, 5 strikeouts. That is of the 6 batters he faced. I'd say that's pretty decent. Throwing gas just 3 years after undergoing Tommy John surgery. Of course, last year hit 5 different levels before getting up here to the majors. Kind of rebuilt the changeup this offseason, guys, and said in the spring, you know, guys are so geared up for my fastball, so if I could just be around the zone with some of my off-speed pitches, especially early in the count, now guys have to guess a little bit more. Knows the fastball is going to play a little better that way, and certainly if it's up in the zone. But I tell you what, I think Braves fans are just pumped to see this guy out here on the mound hitting triple digits.
Yeah, I think he's composed too. I think that's the great thing. He's out there pitching, not just throwing. He looked great the other night.
And maybe the best mustache for a young player in the major leagues. I'm not sure whose is better, his or longtime veteran umpire Billy Hahn.
Don't ask Chipper Jones that one.
I think I know the answer. Well, look, he'll light up the radar gun. It's an easy 100, just like we saw from Hunter Green yesterday. But there is still a little of this, a little of that from Spencer. As he paints a corner and the crowd sees the radar gun register triple digits. Again, 1 ball.
Yeah, anytime you move up a couple levels, you're doing something, but to move up 4.
Cesar Hernandez leading off again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right back where it came from, and Dansby handles a sinking line drive. 1 out. That is proof of what Bobby Cox always said. I know the skipper's watching tonight. You throw 100 consistently, at some point major league hitters will time it. He said they can time a jet.
Yeah, you're right. And that one, he got in on him just enough to not really let him square it. But I mean, we saw with Hunter Green yesterday, even the 100. Darno hit the home run. Olson hit one dead center.
Well, this will be a fun matchup. Juan Soto hasn't seen much to hit, but he's walked twice. This guy can hit anybody's fastball. And he just did. So Soto aboard for the 3rd time in the game. 2 walks and a single. Braves haven't solved him, but look, Atlanta, don't feel bad. Nobody's solved Juan Soto yet in his young career.
Yeah, look, I like the idea. He went after him, you know, challenge him. And yeah, Soto didn't necessarily hit that hard. He just kind of played it to left field, which we've seen him do so many times. But I like the idea of Strider. You know, I like it. He's on the attack out there.
You'd think a guy throwing 100 should be on the attack, right?
Well, you should, but some guys even throw 100. They get a hit once, they'll shy away from it.
Nelly Cruz. Looking for the express, got an 86-mile-an-hour slider. A Strider slider, if you will. Say that 5 times fast. 0-1 the count. 5-1 Washington, 4th inning. I think it's going to be a fascinating thing to watch in our sport in the years, the immediate years certainly, and in the decades to come. What is going to be the limit of human endurance? How hard will guys be able to throw? And what the effect of that's going to be.
Got to figure at some point you got to top out, right?
Well, Jacob deGrom is a perfect example. His velocity's gone up in each of the last 5 years.
But at what cost?
Exactly right. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Cruz. With Soto at first and 1 out, short lead. And Manny makes a nice stop. 2-2 the count. Did velocity bother you? Maybe that's the wrong way to ask it.
It was more the movement to me. Velocity, you know, like you said, you see 101, 102. First time I saw Chapman, I think 102, 103, it gets your attention 100%.
Sure.
But like you said, the more you see it, the more you get used to it.
Soto started, then stopped, and out of play. Who threw the hardest that you faced that you can remember? Was Chapman the guy?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And he's not exactly 5'11" either, right?
No, I think Cincinnati, when he was Cincinnati, I think I saw one like 103. It's pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Remember when Chapman first got to the Reds, they talked about him being a starting pitcher. He might be on the way to the Hall of Fame as a reliever.
But again, even as dominant as he's been at times, you've seen him get hit. And sometimes guys throw so hard and then they hang that off-speed pitch. They do you a favor.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. And see the swings Cruz is getting. These are 98, 99 mile-an-hour fastballs. And the more he sees them, the better his chances might be. As Michael Franco is having a good night. 2 for 2 with a homer. And Strider ready with his 14th pitch. Braves have not had a clean defensive inning yet. Mets have had runners all over the place.
Remember that year Ubaldo Jimenez won 15 games in the first half? Threw 2 balls at like 100 inside on me, had me 0-2, and then hung a slider. I hit it for a home run right to my bat speed, and I crossed home plate and told Chris Iannetta thank you.
Right?
He didn't like that.
I bet.
But
little chin music next time.
But that's the whole thing. You wonder sometimes, like, you know,
I want to trick him.
Absolutely.
Again, the 2-2 from Spencer Strider. And off the plate. It's a full count. Then you look at the other side of the coin, guys that have terrific command. What would a guy like Jamie Moyer do in this era, throwing 84, 85 mile-an-hour fastballs?
He'd still get outs,
right?
Yeah, you know, because he could hit spots. That's the biggest thing.
Full count. Soto chased back.
A couple days ago, we saw San Martin for the Reds. And that was, you know, he struggled hitting spots. And when you only throw 90-91, you didn't last long. That's the one advantage throwing hard like this. Sometimes you can get away with pitches.
Good battle here with Cruz. 9th pitch. And he'll see a 10th. As I said, the Nats had some frustrations against the New York Mets. Didn't do a lot of scoring. Dropped 3 out of 4 to New York. But a big 5-run 3rd inning for him tonight has him in front of the Braves, who led 1-0 after 1 inning. Oscar Inoa was the Braves starter. 5 runs in 3 innings of work in his season debut. Soto's running. And a ground ball foul.
What a battle. He's been mixing it up. Went fastball, slider, fastball, slider. See if he keeps that pattern or if he tries to throw one more slider here. Mix it up.
Not going this time, and it bounces. So no chance to get Cruz on that ball. It bounced about 4 feet in front of the plate. And again, the Nationals have 2 on with 1 out. That was spiked.
Yeah, I think he tried to throw that one a little better than the other ones when he didn't have to.
And Josh Bell is coming up again. Oh, when your lineup's up 3 times and it's only the 4th inning, that's usually a bad sign. It is to this point. 27 homers for Josh Bell. He came over from the Pirates. And already the Nationals have had 10 at-bats with a runner in scoring position in this game.
In the 4th inning.
Ball 1. By the way, I mentioned Ryan Zimmerman earlier in the broadcast. Ryan announced his retirement during the shortened spring training. First ever player drafted by the Washington organization. Pitch. They're going to retire his number later this summer when the Nationals host the Phillies. Never wanted to see Ryan Zimmerman do well against the Braves, but he's always been the kind of guy you root for at a major league game. He's such a class act. So the young family at home wish Ryan Zimmerman all the best. Look forward to catching up with him perhaps when we get to DC. Josh Bell taking over his spot at first as Strider struggling with his command all of a sudden. 3 balls, no strikes. Betty has the green light. Couldn't do much with that pitch. It was a beauty on the inside corner. 3-1 your count.
That's the one you hope he was swinging at.
Wind howling toward the chop house on a dangerous 3-1 pitch. And Bell a little late. Full count.
Yeah, 2 pitches in a row, kind of in on the hands. So that's the thing, you can see if he can locate it like that, it's in business. That's what we saw him do that first night.
Runners lead first and second, 1 out. Strider ready with a payoff pitch. And lifted foul. You know what has struck me yesterday and today? There's not been an awful lot of swing and miss. A lot of foul balls have forced up pitch counts for Ian Anderson and Huascar Ynoa, the Braves starters in these last 2 games. Now Strider all of a sudden up to 24 pitches as he faces his 4th hitter of the inning. Pulled a string and Bell tipped it into the glove of Manny Pena. Boy, did Spencer Strider need that. Everything hard, pulled the string and got the swing and miss.
Yeah, that was a great pitch. All those fastballs in a row and then threw the slider down and in at 90 or at 87. First off speed pitch he saw. So when you see 98, 99, that's the thing. When you can do that, great sequence.
Matthew Kaminsky, the terrific Braves in-stadium organist, plays the theme to Sesame Street for K. Bear Ruiz. Let's hope the letter K works for Spencer Strider in this sequence with 2 on and 2 out. It has before. Ynoa punched out Ruiz twice.
And that's a good pitch selection there. You got a young hitter. Figure he's going to be aggressive knowing 98, 99's coming. You throw a good slider at him to start off.
Fastball, fly ball, deep center. Back goes Duvall, shy of the wall, and he hauls it in. Ruiz hit it hard, but the ballpark big enough to keep him at bay. 5-1 Washington, home fourth coming up. Riley time, Ozuna time, and Adam Duvall time as the Braves try to break into the win column in their first look at an Eastern Division foe, and that was certainly a secret to success for Brian Snitker. Here's Jeff what we're talking about on tonight's Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Yeah, they outscored Washington last year by 28 runs in those 19 games, and they out-homer 36-14. They're going to need a few of those if they want to get back in this ball game right here. Still, like I said, plenty of time, 18 outs left.
So let's get the heart of the order going here. It starts with Austin Riley, who popped out in an RBI situation his first time up. Josh Bell's the man that made that play in front of the Braves dugout. Josh Rogers, a 5-1 lead. He's thrown a 2-hitter at the Braves. He was called up today when Anibal Sanchez was placed on the injured list with a bad neck. Told Sanchez was pitching great in spring training. He was throwing 93 miles an hour, Jeff. And you throw that in with that 68 mile an hour eephus pitch he features. That could be a nice combo.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike for Riley. And couldn't check his swing. Strike 2.
I did see one spring training game this year, though Anibal and someone else gave up like 24 runs. They gave up 29 runs to the Cardinals.
That's right.
Training game.
So 29-7 or something like that game.
If you're going to give them up in spring.
Well, they needed to work on their backup third play.
Yeah.
That happens in spring training, right? But Anibal, one of the game's great guys. He was a Brave, had a
good year.
Terrific year with Atlanta. And wish him all the best. The 2-2 pitch. Riley didn't get that in and under his hands. And Rogers, with that rockabye baby delivery, is putting the Braves bats to sleep so far.
Yeah, back foot slider's been the one that's giving him trouble right now. Struck out Ozzie on it. Give him credit. The one thing he's doing really good right now, he's getting ahead of guys. So he's having the ability to make them expand.
So the lone RBI is off the bat of Marcell Ozuna. That scored Ozzie Albies, who doubled to lead off the game for the Braves. And under the tomahawk and called a strike.
Angels giving that high strike tonight right now.
Well, second time through, it shouldn't be a surprise, right? Doesn't mean it's a strike, but
don't make it any easier.
He's calling it. You got to adjust, right? 1-1 pitch. Sharply hit toward third. Nice pick by Franco. And plenty of time for out number 2. And Rogers has not allowed a base runner since the Ozuna hit in the first inning. Time for tonight's trip around the bases, brought to you by Destin Fort Walton Beach. Mentioned the great numbers Duvall had against the Nats last year.
Yeah, absolutely crushed the Nats last year. 6 homers. Safely in 10 of the last 12 versus the Nats. And 375 with runners in scoring position last season versus the Nats.
Adam popped to the catcher his first time. He's going to pop to second here unless Soto calls off his man. He will. And it's another quick and easy inning, this time in the 4th for Josh Rogers. Rings, and by the way, the Braves have added 2 more dates where those rings might be available. May 28th against the Phillies and June the 8th against the Oakland Athletics, and you can enter for your chance to win an authentic World Series ring. The sweepstakes benefits the Atlanta Braves Foundations. Your entry starts at $21. The sweepstakes close May 9th. Head to braves.com/ring to enter today. So think about that, folks. For $21, you could get an authentic World Series championship ring, and help the Braves Foundation too. And I like the fact, Jeff, that not one, not two, but 3 opportunities for fans to pack Truist Park and pick up the replica ring.
Absolutely. They were out early today, ready to go.
I love what you said earlier, and I'll say it so you don't have to. My partner came in today at his usual time, and he was a little betwixt and bewildered. He said, I felt like Tiger Woods at the Masters. He couldn't get in the ballpark because everybody was looking for the rings, and then they said, oh, it's Jeff Francoeur too. Can I have an autograph?
Yeah, but like I said, the more confusing was the rings were for the first 40,000 people.
Yeah.
Well, that's what this stadium holds.
Right. So why line up so early?
Well, that was my whole yes. I thought everybody's going to get a ring.
Everybody wanted to be part of the experience and get it. And
which I think goes to show you what a great time this is, because fans are jacked.
That's high to Yadiel Hernandez, and another leadoff man on for the Nationals.
And that's my fault for not getting here at 2:30 like you.
Well, you have a life, Jeff, as Lane Thomas stands in with a man aboard. But I will say, it is so great to see the ballpark packed like this, giveaway or not, on a Monday with
awesome.
School in session. So much expectation and excitement for the Braves franchise and this team. You're right, it is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
So
Look at that little guy.
So here we head to the danger zone so far for the Braves pitching staff. At one point this year, the Nationals' 7, 8, 9 hitters went through an 0 for 41 stretch at the plate. So far this year, opposing 7, 8, 9 hitters have 15 runs batted in against the Braves in 5 games, including a couple more tonight. So DH or no DH.
Yeah.
Having that pitcher out of the lineup has been problematic so far for the Brave staff. That's stat courtesy of Dr. No, Hal Galima. And that's Dr. No with a K. They're keeping score at home. 1 ball, 1 strike for Thomas. Big run scoring double for him. And now they've got a runner picked off. Yep, Hernandez left too early. And Olson will track him down after the flip to Ozzie. There's a big out. 1 down.
Great job by Spencer taking your time. We see so many times, Chip, when that happens, the guy panic and balk. Steps off first and does exactly what you're told. Get rid of the ball and get it to a position player. That's textbook. Those are the little drills you don't see in the morning at spring training, but they do that almost every day.
So base is empty for Thomas. He's 1 for 2, 1 out, 5-1 Nationals. And a little high at 99 miles an hour. Two balls and a strike. And high again. Giveaway ring night tonight. I think I might have misspoken earlier. My apologies. May 23rd is the game against the Phillies for the second ring giveaway, and then June 8th when Oakland comes in. And the Oakland A's, Mark Kotsay, former Brave, is their manager.
Remember, Mark hit for the cycle here as an Atlanta Brave with 6 hits in that game.
One of the all-time great guys. Can't wait to see him. The payoff is cut on a miss. Thomas down on strikes. 2 men out. How about Spencer Strider? 5 strikeouts in his first 2 innings. He struck out a couple here in the 4th and 5th again.
Well, that's where that fastball right there, it just, if he can locate it, that ball is just a little bit up going. There's no way to even foul that off a lot of the time.
Michael Franco, the big blow tonight, a 2-run homer back in the Nationals' 3rd.
Wonder how many kids are going to take the ring tomorrow for school.
Show and tell.
Yep.
Heard you had some fun with your ring yesterday at home, huh?
Yeah, the kids liked it.
Yeah. Did you make the mistake of opening the ring and show him how that works?
Yeah, we had to, you know, set some ground rules. They were loving it.
No balls and a strike. Yeah,
I actually took Braden to the backyard to throw to him some. He had a game tonight, and he said, if I hit this one over the slide, do I get the golden ring?
Really?
Yeah. I said, yeah, sure. Tomorrow night I'll get your replica.
Attaboy. 1-1 pitch. Well, we're beyond grateful to Derek Schiller and the Braves for awarding our crew our rings last night, or yesterday, I should say, and tonight, Peter Moylan and Brian Jordan.
Yeah, and it is great because look, not every team, the announcers and staff part of that get that kind of thing. So to be involved was pretty special.
Line drive for Franco, who's 3 for 3.
And you've seen all night tonight. Hit the home run off a slider for Ynoa, but one thing, he's always had quick hands. He's always been able to handle a fastball.
Why didn't he stick in Philly?
I'm not sure. I mean, like I told you, in 15, he was the third hole hitter on the team, and I mean, he went to Yankee Stadium and hit 5 home runs in a 3-game series. I remember BMAC was catching for him, and he came up to me, who the heck is this guy? And I said he had 2 really good years, and then just kind of couldn't keep it going.
So Philly's loss could be the Nationals' gain this year, as Michael Franco's had a big night. Escobar digs in and takes a strike from Spencer Strider. It's 0-1.
That's what I think, though, is so special about the guys that can consistently do it year in and year out. You see guys come up, have good years, but the longevity and how long they can do it, that's another story.
Right off his knuckles, foul 0-2. When you factor in what the third baseman's expected to do offensively, that's a power position. Then they call it the hot corner for a reason, right? Handle all those missiles down the third base line. Not an easy job at all. Makes you appreciate what Chipper Jones did for so many years here in Atlanta and what Austin Riley's already doing in his young career. 0-2 count. And that is looped foul. And think about this, as great a year as Austin Riley had offensively last year, and he did you know he made 1 error in his last 50 games?
I did not.
At third base.
Wow.
That's not even factoring in the 9 miles he has to put in running into right field for the shift all night long. Some kind of player. The 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Breaking ball from Strider, who has his 3rd punch out. He's looking good through 2 scoreless innings. Braves, though, down 4 midway through. Full weekend of activities, events, and tributes. Join us at Truist Park and get your tickets at Braves.com/tickets. Another great feature of the Braves World Series championship ring is the number 44 etched inside on the replica of Truist Park underneath the script A, and the 44 diamonds on the side of the top for baseball's home run king. Braves truly did have an angel in the outfield during their playoff run last year. Hank Aaron, Bill Bartholomew, Phil Niekro. No, they were enjoying what the Braves accomplished last year, but boy, do we sure wish they were here in person. As Eddie Rosario leads off the 5th inning for the Braves. Atlanta has but 2 hits tonight. Jake Rogers, who was fighting for one of the rotation spots for the Nats, didn't make the team out of spring training. Pitch like this against the world champs, that might change some minds.
I can tell you this, you'll get another start in 5 days.
Yeah.
That's really, I think, more than anything right now is any way on right here. Get a base runner on so you can get him in the stretch and kind of get him out of this rocking motion.
And get into the Nationals bullpen if
Yeah.
you can. There's some inexperience there. Well, Sean Doolittle is back throwing 93 miles an hour. They've got Steve Cishek. You know him from the Marlins. Tanner Rainey can close.
As long as Waskar's not pitching, right?
That's it.
Or hitting.
Or hitting.
Sorry.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a start. He didn't go. Rosario gets something going for the Braves. Second leadoff man on. And that is the first walk from Jake Rogers in the game. Now time for the bottom to feed the top, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, right here you get that right side here, get something going. A couple guys on.
Dansby broke his bat and lined out to first his first time up. They're holding the runner at first. Dansby has about 85 feet of base paths to play with on the right side if he can guide a ball that way. And that's launched back toward us. Foul, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. You know, we talk all the time. Dansby's best stroke is that shot to right field. That's tough to do when they pitch the ball into your hands.
Yeah, but if you look like that, then you can take that pitch right there because where you're angled at, where you're trying to hit the ball, you see it longer.
Ball's inside. Good take. 2-1 the count. Victor Arano getting up in the Nats pen. Good at bat for Dansby. Now he's in the driver's seat. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, it's, you know, that first inning he gave up that run, and since then he's been comfortable. Like you said, now you can get another guy on. Force him to pitch from behind.
What will Dansby get here? Let's find out together, shall we? The pitch. Shaved off the inside edge. Full count.
It's a good take, though. That's not a pitch. Could have been ball 4.
Short lead at first, and Dansby swings and misses. So from a 3-1 count, Rogers comes back to strike out the Braves shortstop, and 1 on, 1 out.
He was trying to come back in and actually made a mistake there, got away with it.
Manny Pena, the batter, he grounded out. Fly ball center and playable for Lane Thomas. The Braves have gotten some early swings in the count against this guy. As you said, Jeff, he might be hiding the ball well, but there have been some real quick innings defensively for Jake Rogers. Only what, 61 pitches?
Yeah, really just haven't been able to square anything up. Ozzy's double down the right field line was really the only ball that was hit hard in this game so far, Chip. Start the game.
So Orlando Arcia, the final hope, with 2 outs in the Braves' 5th. And in for a strike. It's 0-1. Crowd quiet. Nationals lead at 5-1. Braves have but 2 hits. And Arcia tried to hit one out and didn't get that. It's 1-2. Even count. Rogers' last win was last September against the Marlins after not playing in the 2020 season. The 2-2. Full count. Well, you get a base runner here. You bring up Ozzie hitting right-handed, at least in theory. Again, Victor Arano, right-handed reliever, is up for Washington. Might force a decision. As Rogers in the mid-60s with his pitch count. And with 2 outs, Rosario will get a head start. Big gap in left center for Orlando. A lot of room down the left field line if he can pull something in the air. There goes the runner, and fouled straight back. Challenged him with a fastball up in the zone, and the best Orlando could do is foul it straight back. Again, Rogers comes set, and the pitch. That's into the seats right side. Hey, great catch. That fan's from Dahlonega. You can tell he's got a gold glove. And a golden chain, too. Check it out. Nice catch, young man. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a high fly ball hit to left. But the wind is going to kill it. And Arcia almost hit it out. The ballpark too big for that drive, and we've completed 5 in Atlanta with the Nationals lead by 4. Not 2, but 3 errors for the Phillies third baseman. That's going to be the question for the Phillies. How will their defense hold up? They're down 4-0 to the Mets. Mets lost Taijuan Walker, who had to leave that game with shoulder problems. So Walker and DeGrom banged up for New York. But the Mets off to a good start, trying to win their 4th game in 5 tries. Here it's 5-1 Washington. Cesar Hernandez again leading off, this time in the 6th, as Spencer Strider doing a heck of a job trying to pile up some innings.
I saw a changeup from him there. Rare one. Most of the time we've seen slider fastball.
One more note on Alec Bohm. We talk all the time, Jeff, about how the baseball gods will humble you. Here's the pitch. 1 year ago today, Alec Bohm did not touch home plate in Atlanta and was called safe. Not that we've forgotten that.
I don't remember that. Was that
No.
a Sunday night? I don't remember it.
Yeah, couldn't. Yeah. Against the hated Phillies here. 2-1 pitch. And that's a tough place, as you know, Jeff. You played there. When things are going badly, they let you know it. And Bohm already has been under the microscope at third base in Philadelphia. It's also where Johan Camargo ended up. Former Brave is now a member of the Phillies. There's a strike to Cesar. He fills the count. Three balls, 2 strikes. See if Spencer can come back and get his man. Lifted toward left. Long run. Ozuna had him shaded that way into foul ground. He's going to get there. A little snow cone, but he held on. 1 out.
Had to go a long way. If you said the ball tried to almost pop out.
Here's Soto. 2 walks, a single. He scored a run. Tell you how the game has changed. Juan Soto reportedly turned down a $350 million contract extension offer.
Yes, I would say so.
I think he missed his pitch. Duvall handles that mile-high pop-up.
Call 40,000 people here heard that.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So the Nationals, I guess, are in a tough spot. First, the reaction. That sounded a lot like Ozzie Guillen when you threw a ball into the dugout in a spring training game at Turner Field.
Again, though, Strider showing me something there, going after him with a fastball. Last time he hit it for a little base hit. This time he got him to pop up.
Folks who don't remember, Braves had some exhibition games against the White Sox before the regular season started. Jeff was playing right field, and I don't know who he was trying to throw out at third base, but the ball sailed, and all we heard was Ozzie Guillen screaming.
That was fantastic.
The ball was like a guided missile headed his way.
Man, I'll tell you what, I was with Kansas City a couple years later, and he would always, every time I threw it, he said he'd go to the position. Just turn.
Oh, man. Nelson Cruz, the hitter.
He was colorful, man. You talk about.
He played for the Braves.
He did, yeah.
Popular
Number
player.
13.
Two balls and a strike. Spencer Strider trying to pick up the first 1-2-3 inning for the Braves in this game. One more and that'll be the case. Here it is.
What he keeps throwing like this, he's going to find himself pitching more and more valuable innings as this early part goes on.
Well, if he keeps pitching 3-4 innings at a time, he might get stretched out enough to maybe be a starter.
Yeah, but I do agree. I think for the next 2 weeks, these little stop gaps like Colin McHugh was yesterday, Newcomb, going to be important.
Full count. Josh Bell on deck. 5-1 Nats. They've out hit the Braves tonight 9-2. This is what has impressed me about Nelson Cruz, and I haven't seen him much in live action. For a guy that hits a lot of home runs,
he's a good hitter.
Yeah, he's not just up there bailing and wailing. He puts the bat on the ball a lot.
He's a good hitter. There's no doubt about that.
Part of the boom squad, they called them in Minnesota a couple of years ago. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Popped him up. Olson drifting out. Rosario coming in. Matt twisting and turning and makes the basket catch. And at long last, it is a 1-2-3 inning for the Braves defense. Top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Well, partner, it's gotten a little late early tonight, wouldn't you say? 6th inning, down 4 runs, but the 1-2-3 hitters are up for Brian Snitker's Braves.
Yeah, we got the leadoff hitter last inning, got a couple 3-2 counts, but he was able to pitch his way out of it. As you said early on, we had more time. Well, now 3 more innings have gone by. See if Ozzie can get something going like he did start the game.
Both Braves hits tonight came in the first inning. And the first pitch popped up into right. Long run Soto. Wynn playing tricks with that. And Soto got there with a right hand grab for out number 1. One pitch, 1 out. And Jeff, again, Rogers getting a lot of early count outs.
And Soto almost overran that with the ball coming back, but that's what's enabled him to keep his pitch count low. And right now with that 5-1 lead, you can tell he's feeling comfortable out there. See by his face right there to the catcher, he wants to try to finish this 6.
Matt looking for his first hit tonight. Well, what a great start to his Braves career with an 8-hit series against the Reds. And the fun he had with Travis d'Arnaud yesterday. Remember, Matt got thrown out at the plate twice the other night and said, well, if I'm getting running advice from the catcher, that's probably not the best news. And then looked into the dugout, hits the home run to center field, and then as he makes his way around second base, looked into the dugout to make sure that he was trotting properly. Buddy,
he's fitting in okay.
Enjoyed that. 3 balls and a strike.
I wonder here if he lets Olson go with Riley and Ozuna coming up, if Dave Martinez goes to that pen.
He's hit more homers against a lefty than Matt Olson as a left-hand hitter since 2019, but we'll never know as that one missed inside. 1 on, 1 out. Kelly, that was a fun moment yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh, it sure was. And you talk about the chemistry of this team and sort of how it's building. I had a chance to talk to Matt a little bit about that. And interestingly enough, gentlemen, Travis d'Arnaud yesterday, when he went yard, using Matt Olson's bat. And so Matt told me today, you know what, if he keeps it up with that poking fun at me, I'm going to start charging him for every time I let him use my bat. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then just a second ago, you know what, Ozzie Albies coming up to him going, hey, how'd you make that catch? How'd you do the basket thing? So these guys are having a lot of fun. I think you can just see it in the dugout, the rapport, and certainly for Matt Olson. I know this last weekend was something else. He goes, I'm kind of glad that now I can just settle in here after having all my family and friends here over the weekend. It's kind of nice now to just play baseball.
Oh, I think for Kelly, for him too, you know, you're watching the team get the ring. You're not getting a ring. And so, like I said, for him finally getting back to play baseball, he's messing around with the guys, having fun. It's off to a great start.
Rogers' night is over for the Nationals. The Braves will chase him. We'll tell you who the new Washington pitcher is after a break. Washington, Jeff, and I'm guessing the Braves would have a pretty good scouting report on this guy.
They should. Pitched in Triple-A Gwinnett last year, and Braves saw him with the Phillies just a little bit. 2-pitch pitcher. 60% of the time you're going to get a slider, 40% of the time sinker. But he's got a pretty good sinker.
And that's what Davey Martinez is hoping to see off the bat of Austin Riley here with 1 out. $42,263 fans have packed Truist Park tonight. They'd like to see a comeback. 4th highest regular season crowd in the history of this ballpark.
Wow. Yeah. Hal's math's right. 2,263 people did not get a ring.
Oh, I think they had some extra stashed
You
away
think?
somewhere. 1 ball, no strikes from Arano to Riley. Well, how'd you like to be the...
Well, so I apologize. That's why people got here early.
Well, I was going to say, how'd you like to be the great customer service rep in
that
a
has
Major
to
League
tell
ballpark?
someone no at the very
Sorry, sir. Your fan number 40,001 were out.
That's where you have a bathroom break. I got to go. Pass on the baton.
2 balls, no strikes for Riley. Braves do not have a hit since the first inning tonight.
There's that sinker you can see. Sank in. It was actually a ball, but
Reds bullpen was very impressive in the 4-game split. 12 2/3 scoreless innings by the Cincinnati relief corps. Let's see if the Braves can change their luck against Arano. And another sinker. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
See the movement on that pitch. You don't see Austin Riley take too many swings like that. 2 in a row.
Three straight, and Riley didn't get any of them. Arano gets the first batter faced. 2 outs in the 6th inning. And the fate of the frame rests in the hands of Marcell Ozuna.
Tell you what, he dialed up 3 pitches, the exact same spot to Austin Riley there after falling behind 2-0.
I don't like the result, don't misunderstand, but when a pitcher has success with a pitch, why change it? He didn't. He didn't
until Austin Riley showed him he was going to lay off it, do something different. He went back to it. And that's the hard thing, because you could see Austin trying to open up a little bit.
Just couldn't get to it.
It just keeps coming in on you.
So let's see what Ozuna can do with Olson at first and 2 out. Sinker banged foul. No balls and a strike. How strong Marcell is. He can get his arms extended and hit the ball line to line. If you throw that sinker in, you'd better get it in, because he's quick enough to keep it fair. Michael Franco guarding the line at third base. Escobar a little bit closer to the hole. Hernandez almost up the middle at second base for the Washington defense. Josh Bell playing in front of Matt Olson, figuring Matt's not going anywhere. Down 4 runs in the late innings for Atlanta. Outfield deep, playing no doubles on a breezy night. Two balls and a strike. And you like a big crooked number in the 6th. You still have 3 innings left.
And even like you said, getting 1 or 2 here, just get the crowd back into it a little bit, get the offense going.
Long look in by the veteran Victor Arano. 2 balls and a strike. Almost hit him. 3-1.
Good eye.
Next.
That's the thing here. 3-1. You saw what he did to Austin Riley. You got to believe, okay, here comes that sinker. You got to tell yourself you have to see that thing start out over the plate a good bit. If not, shut down, because either going to swing and miss or roll over. Here it comes.
Popped him up. Ozuna missed his pitch. Hernandez drifts back. Soto will join him and call him off, and that'll retire the side. Braves are still hitless over the last 5 innings and trail at 5-1. Lee, thanks for joining us tonight. Kelly Kroll, Jeff Francoeur, Chip Carey with you tonight. Hope you'll join us April 26th through the 28th. The Cubs are coming to Truist Park. Your chance to see Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson take on former Brave Jason Hayward and the Chicago Cubs. Great seats remain. Get your tickets now at braves.com/tickets. Spencer Strider back to work. He's going to start his 4th inning of relief. In a game where the Braves offense hasn't done much, boy, you've got to tip your cap to Spencer. He is soaking up some innings, trying to give the offense a chance to catch up and do something tonight. But Jake Rogers was tough. 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Only 74 pitches for Rogers in 5 1/3 tonight. Things look great after an inning. The Braves led 1-0. But Washington scored 5 runs in the 3rd. That told the tale against Huascar Ynoa, who didn't have an easy
never
inning
was sharp
at all.
Yeah, he had signs of 98, good slider, but you talked about, I thought that might be it for Strider, but now I agree, he's out to 66 pitches. You talk about stretching a guy out.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And over the netting foul. We've said a couple of times that one of the oddities of the schedule for the Braves this year is they're going to open with 14 straight days with the shortened spring training. Rick Kranitz told us the other day that they're very concerned, as every major league team would be, not just with workload, but the recovery time for pitchers taking the jump from spring training games to regular season games.
Yep. It's different. Like you said, it's 2 weeks shorter.
So the Braves will use a 6th starter tomorrow. Max Fried will wrap up the homestand on Wednesday, and then it's hoped the Braves will be on regular turns going forward as a leadoff walk gets the 7th inning started for the Nationals. Bell reaches for the 2nd time tonight. That is Strider's 3rd walk. Keibert Ruiz. First pitch swing. Pops it up. Ozzie drifts back and says he has it. Little stumble after the catch, but no trouble. And Ruiz is 0 for 4. 1 on, 1 out. Here's a quick message from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no.
Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Nice night for Hernandez. He's reached base 3 times and has scored one of the Nationals' 5 runs. And he smokes a single into center. Back-to-back first pitch swings for Ruiz and Hernandez. Now 2 on, 1 out. And I'm guessing that's going to be the end of the line for Spencer Strider.
Yeah.
71 pitches. So 3 1/3 shutout innings so far for Spencer Strider. As Jeff said, he ought to be stretched out, and it's going to be Tucker Davidson who's going to come in out of the Braves bullpen. That's an interesting story. We'll break that down for you when we come back.
The official crypto exchange of MLB, by the GMC Sierra heavy-duty truck, and by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
5-1 Washington. The Nationals threatening here in the top of the 7th inning. Chip and Jeff with you upstairs here at Truist Park. And a little bit of a surprise. Jeff, it's Tucker Davidson who's going to come out of the bullpen. It was thought that if this game went the Braves' way, they could use Davidson to start tomorrow's game. That's obviously not going to happen if he's pitching tonight.
Yeah, you know, he had a great spring training. See, that last year had some good luck up here. So his first time out tonight, which means obviously they've decided to go a different way tomorrow. And, you know, I guess early on the season like that, there's just a lot of options you can do.
Would one of them be to pitch Max Fried tomorrow?
Well, that's the obvious choice. I think you could move him up. And like you said, with Strider going 67, 68, you have the ability to pitch him, you know, Saturday or Sunday in San Diego if you want. So
we'll hear about that from Brian Snitker on Braves Live after our ball game tonight. Braves Live is always presented by Xfinity. Trevor, Peter, and BJ will break things down when we wrap up our ball game. But still some time left for the Braves to complete the comeback as Tucker Davidson goes to work with Lane Thomas, who hit the ball hard in the 3rd inning, doubled and scored. Right there, a strike.
I tell you what, I really enjoyed watching Tucker pitch when he came up last year. I thought he did a great job, and again this spring, you know, no different. Those strikes.
Davidson Pride of Amarillo, Texas. Big Amarillo Sod Poodles fan.
You know who their manager is? Phil Wellman.
1 ball, 2 strikes. In the dirt.
What a great name.
That was pioneer slang for prairie dogs. And they are everywhere down in Amarillo. Boy, Tucker's a great story. Love to see when young guys come through the system, get a chance and play well at the big league level. Pitched in the World Series last year. Gave up a couple of runs in 2 innings of work. And this one floated towards center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Bell around third. Duvall loads up. Here comes his throw. It's on line and not in time. Bell got in just ahead of the Pena tag. What a throw from Duvall and a great slide by Bell, and the Nationals add to the lead.
I think he just got around him to get that. Yeah, to get that hand in, but you said it. What a great throw by Adam. This ball was not hit hard, and Bell, credit Bell here, as you see it jammed him. Bell went right when it was hit, and Duvall threw a good one. Not even a hop, but you see right there, good slide by Bell. Went on the outside.
Missed him by that much. So that run charged to Spencer Strider. The Nats extend their lead to 6-1 now. Hernandez stopped at second on the Lane Thomas hit. 3 RBIs for Lane Thomas in the game. And here's Michael Franco. He's homered. He's 3 for 3, by the way. Well, let's let the Nats get it out of their system tonight. 2 more games left with them. Tomorrow night and then Wednesday, a 12:20 Business Fan special. And then we'll hit the road to San Diego and Los Angeles. That's curling down the right field line into the corner. Rosario makes the catch on the warning track. Both runners are tagging, and the throw off target at second. Productive out for Franco. They're at second and third with 2 out. Hope you'll stick around for the stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor, Brian, and Peter Moylan will be talking about the blistering hot start for Matt Olson, who had 8 hits in his first home series against the Reds. And again, congratulations to Brian and Peter for their well-earned World Series rings. That was so classy of Derek Schiller to personally present them before the game tonight.
That was nice of him to give them a replica, I'll tell you that.
I really like what Derek said to you when you started mouthing off. He said, "You know, Jeff, we can take it back."
Not anymore. They got to find it at the house now.
It's probably in Braden's room. As Escobar bats, no balls and a strike. And another good pitch. 0-2.
Good save by Manny.
I got a question for you. Talking about Braden having the ring. Is that next to your Sports Illustrated magazine cover too?
No.
Downstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's in the basement.
Escobar with 2 on and 2 out. 6-1. Nats have out hit the Braves 11-2. All 2 Atlanta hits in the first inning. It's been slim pickings at the plate so far tonight. And did he go? Nope. Jim Wolf says no swing. Full count. Swing and a miss. Good job by Tucker Davidson to stop further damage. A leadoff walk comes home to score. 6-1 Nats. Time for the stretch. Trevor, take it away.
The Stretch is brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Welcome into the Stretch, presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor Scales, Brian Jordan, and Peter Moreland out here in the Battery at Truist Park. And Matt Olson has made himself right at home here in an Atlanta uniform. Parkview High School stand up, by the way. He goes 8 for 14 in the opening series against the Reds, fellas. And BJ, it was magical in a lot of different ways. Seeing the chemistry coming about, too.
Well, you know what? I think he's very excited to be here. And he has such a unique swing, keeping his hands away from him, but he's so quick through the zone, and he has the capability of spreading the ball all over the field, keeping his hands in. And then we saw a bullet straight away center field yesterday, showing his power, and we knew he had power. 39 home runs in Oakland. I can't wait to continue to watch this guy.
Take a look at his spray chart here. It's not like he's just doing it on one side of the plate. He's not just a pull hitter. His home run yesterday was a missile to straightaway center field. He's going the opposite field as much as he's pulling the ball. That shows me that he's a pure hitter. 571 batting average in 2022 already. You telling me we're not looking forward to this guy for the next 8 years?
Oh, you gotta be. You gots to be. Like, it's a matter of him fitting in offensively and also with the chemistry. Got a nice little back and forth going with Travis d'Arnaud. We'll get you back out to some more Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
Ready to play ball with a new gas company? Georgia Natural Gas knocks it out of the park with simple service and great rates. And when it comes to helping the environment, GNG's Greener Life program makes it as easy as paying your gas bill. Sign up with a home team today at GNG.com.
6-1 as we head to the home seventh. Braves have 9 outs left. A couple of changes for the Nationals defensively. Victor Robles has checked into the game to play center, and I believe Lane Thomas has moved to left. So Yadiel Hernandez is out of the game. There's Lane, who's had a good night at the plate. Leads off for the Braves. He has popped out twice.
See, there it goes right back to that big slider. And the hard thing is, Chip, as a hitter now, Adams watched Austin Riley's, watched Marcell Ozuna, and you know it's coming. That's the hardest thing, is to tell yourself, don't swing, because it looks really good. It just keeps coming in on your hands.
No balls and a strike. And then you think sinker and you get a slider.
And then you start, that's what happens. If they see you getting kind of cheating on that inside pitch right there, they'll try to get you to open up by throwing that slider. And this is one of those guys, you know, really tough for a right-handed hitter. Lefties have a lot better success off him.
That one hung and at him a little too quick. And fouled away. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Phillies came back and won tonight. They scored 5 runs in the 8th inning to knock off the Mets, despite 3 errors from Alec Boehm at third base. Phillies have dominated the Mets at Citizens Bank Park last couple of years. And I think we're going to see that all summer long, back and forth between all 5 Eastern Division teams. It's going to be quite the race. As Duvall takes upstairs, I mean, Alex Anthopoulos said as much, Jeff. He thinks this race in the East could very easily go down to the final weekend.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, for 4 straight years now, the Braves have won it. The Mets and Phillies have had some good teams.
1 ball, 2 strikes for the Braves center fielder. Took that one inside. Braves need some base runners. Haven't had a hit since the 1st inning tonight. They've left only 3 men on base. Defensively, the Braves have had 1 perfect inning. That was the 6th when they got the Nats 1-2-3. Spencer Strider followed Huascar Ynoa. Strider gave up a run in his 3 1/3 innings. Ynoa 5 runs in 3 frames. And Adam reached for that, pops it into left. Escobar says he has it. 1 out. 3 pop outs for Adam Duvall tonight. 1 away for Eddie Rosario. Rosario has grounded out and walked tonight. Took a little off that breaking ball, and Eddie way out in front. A ball and 2 strikes. Braves, like so many teams, were as creative as they could be this spring training, trying to get hitters as much live hitting action as they could. But it's not the same, is it? Side work, cage work, simulated games.
That's the hardest part. You know, they do those simulated games, but you still know you're facing guys on your team. And it's just, like you said, it's not, no matter what you try to do, you're not going to be able to have the intensity that you need. And so, agreed, a lot of these times, like tonight, or Reno pitching to the righties right here, they hadn't seen that sinker yet like that.
Heard this chant a lot in postseason play.
And he answered almost every time in the NLCS with it.
14 hits against the Dodgers. And that scatters him in the Braves dugout. Foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So a couple things working for the Braves the rest of this series. Number 1, who pitches game 2 tomorrow night? It's not going to be Strider. It's not going to be Tucker Davidson. So Brian Snitker will answer that after we wrap things up. And second question is, how to get the offense going?
Yeah.
Quiet night tonight. Pitch. And out in front, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Won't see the Nationals after this series till mid-June, which I kind of like. What was it, a year or 2 ago? We saw the Mets like 3 of our first 7 series.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's spread out a little more against the Eastern rivals with a ton of games in September. And Rosario chased it, didn't get it. That's strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Arano. And that's Enjoy Now. A quick message from Racetrack.
Fuel up like the Freeze does with whatever gets you going at Racetrack.
We saw the Freeze here the other night. We were so busy listening to our great producer Gretchen Caney, we didn't see the outcome of the race. At least I don't remember who won. Did the Freeze hold serve in his first home dash here at Truist Park? I think he did.
Probably. Dansby, both his hits been on the first pitch this season. That's where, you know, he's 0 for 10 with 2 strikes here. And last year, 2 strikes, he was one of the best in the league.
And to elaborate on Jeff's point, 42 RBIs with 2 strikes for Dansby last year. That was the 3rd most of any National League hitter.
Yeah.
So it's in there. It's going to come. It's just a slow start for Dansby. And much of that, not a lot of contact for him. Early season strikeouts. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dansby and the Braves down to their final swing in the 7th. Top of the order coming up again for Washington in the 8th. And the 1-2 pitch from Arano. Did he go? Wow. Whole Nationals infield was headed for the dugout. They thought Swanson offered at that ball, but he held up.
Good call, Wolfie at first.
Jim Wolf's brother Randy Wolf was a terrific major league pitcher for a long time.
Phillies faced him numerous times.
The 2-2 pitch. At the knees, Swanson caught looking, and the Braves are out in order in the 7th. Is your score with Juan Soto coming up here in the Nationals 8th inning. Let's take a look at our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage.
See Juan and Matt. I think hopefully for the Braves fans, the more we keep showing these stats, they're going to realize how good Matt's career has been in Oakland and what he's been able to do just in these first 5 games. But he's got the most home runs, Matt, by a left-handed hitter since 19.
Don't know how many Braves fans stayed up late at night to check out the Oakland Athletics games on the West Coast. And it's true. I think the devil you know versus the one you don't. Freddie Freeman, great career here in Atlanta. Very much a known commodity. But in his own right, Matt Olson, as those numbers show, a terrific start to his major league career.
And like I said, I think getting better too. You know, that's why they locked him up with that extension. You think he's just really kind of hitting the prime of his career now.
Cesar Hernandez, the Nationals leadoff man, 1 for 4 tonight. Soto and Cruz to follow. Tucker Davidson, the 3rd pitcher of the game for the Braves. And the Braves have thrown a lot of pitches tonight. You know, a ton of them in his 3 innings. Spencer Strider, heavy workload. Allowed just 1 run. Now Davidson to work, and that's inside the line for a fair ball. Rosario over quickly. Ball ricochets past him, and Cesar Hernandez stands at second with a leadoff double.
Right there. Everywhere they're hitting it right now, it's finding a hole. That's the 2nd or 3rd ball he's seen right down the first baseline.
Yeah, Ozzie had one that way. So those are even tonight. And the Nationals threaten again with Soto coming up. Lifted out of play, foul. Strike 1. Interesting story in the Washington Post today about the Nationals franchise. The Lerner family, which has owned them since they were purchased from Major League Baseball, is exploring either a restructuring of ownership or a potential sale of the team. That news came out earlier today. Soto lifts another one to center. Not happy about that, but Duvall will be once he catches it. And Hernandez is stuck at second. There's out number 1. guy's a great player, Juan Soto. Again, they offered a reported $350 million extension, and Soto said, I'm going to play it out. He's betting on himself, that's for sure. But that leads you to wonder what the final number is going to be for a player as young and as talented as he.
Hey, that, or does, depending where the direction go, Chip, does he want to be there?
Yeah, do you want to be a part of a long rebuild? Don't know.
That's
Nelson Cruz, the hitter. And look, I don't know what the motivation is for the Lerner family, but as great as Soto has been, that's really a tough thing for all the good that they've done for that city, the ballpark, the franchise coming to our nation's capital. If you can't come to terms with Soto and you have to trade him for the good of the franchise, that's a really, really tough thing for ownership to swallow potentially. So we'll see how that plays out in the weeks and months ahead. But they're certainly in good hands with the Lerners and Mike Rizzo, their terrific general manager. World Championship a couple of years ago, and now trying to build them back up in D.C. That's down low to Nelly Cruz. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, this is one of those with the base open. Bell from the right side, not nearly as good as he is from the left.
Oh, green light 3-0, and he missed it. Fouled back for Nelson Cruz, who, as he's gotten older and wiser, Jeff, has seemingly gotten better and better. Tons of home runs after he turned 30. And hoping to continue on in Washington. I think he's going to like hitting in that ballpark once it warms up, as he went for the downs there and didn't get it.
Yeah, there's not many parks when he gets a hold of one that's going to hold him no matter what.
And missed inside. Davidson walks Nelson Cruz. Braves have walked a bunch of hitters tonight as well. That is 8 of them. No, I take that back. Excuse me. That's 6 of them in the game. And 2 of them have scored. Scoring change on the hit by Hernandez to start the inning. Credit him with a single.
Well, that's a timing.
And there you give Rosario an error on the ball that briefly bounced away from him off the wall. So a single E9 officially.
It's a tough error to take. You're going over there hard to try to cut the ball off to throw him out at second. It'd be different to me if you were in fair territory still, but he was very close to the wall where it hit.
Tell you what, right field's not an easy place to play for a right fielder here in Atlanta. You've got 2 more tough spots coming up on the road trip: San Diego and Dodger Stadium. That's past Riley into left field. Here comes Hernandez. They're going to wave him. Ozuna loads up. His throw to the plate is going to be a rainbow late. And Josh Bell has a base hit, another RBI, and the Nationals are pouring it on. It's a 7-1 score.
That one gets in on him a little bit, but Bell's so strong. He's able to muscle it past Austin.
So like I said, let him get it out of their system. Riley missed it by that much. And 13 unlucky hits for the Nationals offense through 7 1/3 innings so far tonight. 7-1. Braves have been out hit 13-2 tonight. And here's Keibert Ruiz, the catcher. He'll turn around and bat right-handed. Richard Musterer is our official scorer tonight. He's the man that made the scoring change
It's tough. Good guy, but I mean, it's always tough. I mean, look, the hitter wants a double. It's like anything.
So that's, in Jeff Francoeur's opinion, not an error on Rosario, but it was charged.
Got to stick with my outfielders, man.
Exactly. Throw you out of the union if you're not careful. 1 ball, 1 strike. But yeah, looking ahead, you know, San Diego, all the angles at the ballpark name fraught with danger for certain broadcasters, Petco Park, and then the curved wall at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah. Big road trip right off the bat.
Another base hit, this one into left field. Cruz will stop at third, and that's play at station to station. Bases are loaded and only 1 out.
Let's go back and take a look at this, what I was talking about on Cesar Hernandez hitting that ball down the right field line. And you can see Eddie coming over here. Good hustle. And you see what I'm saying, Chip? He's right on that wall. If you're on the other side, watch this. You're going to obviously try to keep him to single. that's a.
And Hernandez, I think, deked everybody. He was kind of trotting to first base, but as soon as he got to the bag, he turned on the afterburners. And I'm with you. Even if he fields that ball cleanly, he's still going to 360 spin, and Hernandez is going to try to go to second.
Absolutely, and or he, you know, even if he tried to stay first, my point is when you're running that hard to the wall and then it's right on you, it's not a play you can expect a guy to make that close to the wall.
So first at bat for Victor Robles tonight.
And I just, as an outfielder, you kind of look at it as he was hustling over to get him to hold him at first. You know, if he lollygags over there, that's a double. And at the end of the day, it's, you know, not really going to matter, but we're out in the game right now.
Yeah. Well, as we know from Bull Durham, nobody likes a lollygagger. And Eddie wasn't.
No, he was going after that.
2 strikes, Victor Robles. This guy can really go get him in the outfield. Question is, can he hit enough to stay up here? And he just got clipped by a pitch. A bases loaded hit by pitch brings home another run. And so this is spinning out of control for Tucker Davidson, who's having a rough 8th. 3 hits, a walk, now a hit batsman, and 2 runs.
Yeah, well,
he's going to have to finish up this game.
Well, it is, and I will tell you this, as a hitter on an opposing team, you can see it just nips off his fingers. This is tough too, because when hitters are kind of smelling blood in the water right here, Chip, they're going up to that plate ready to swing. It's not easy.
Well, that's not been a problem for Lane Thomas tonight. He's stung the ball a couple of times. 3 RBIs for the Nationals outfielder. And taken low, 1 ball, no strikes. A ball and a strike, no place to put Lane Thomas, who fouls that away.
Let's see if he can get a swing and a miss here, or a ground ball somewhere at Dansby Ozzie.
Yeah, 2 for the price of 1 would be terrific right here. 1-2 pitch. And Thomas did not get that. Strikeout's the next best option. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
Now, see, that was to me what Tucker has got to start doing a little bit more. Even though he really wasn't meaning to, you see how that ball was out. Everything he's been kind of throwing has been that cutter in, and being able to me, that's what's made AJ Minter so much better since he came up last year, was he's starting to work that outside corner too, where guys can't just open up.
Michael Franco takes a strike. He didn't think so. Driven toward right. Eddie drifts back, still going back, twisting, turning. It's over his head. It's over his glove and off the warning track and wall. And that's going to clear the bases. Michael Franco having a huge night. 5 RBIs out of the 8-hole in the Nationals lineup. And boy, the bottom of the order continues to punish the Braves pitching staff in the first 5 games, and a rare laugher for Davey Martinez. It's now 11-1.
Again, Franco so strong. Got Rosario a little bit turned around. Nonetheless, right off kind of the bottom of the wall, he clears the bases. He's at 5 RBIs tonight.
Well, you get 2 5-run innings in a big league game, chances are you're going to have a good night. Yeah. That's the case for the Nats. 1 in the 3rd, 1 so far here in the 8th inning. And they're going to bat around against Tucker Davidson here as Alcides Escobar is up again. Look, when your 9th place hitter comes up for the 5th time in a game, your manager's going to be smiling a lot.
And still the 8th inning.
Yeah. So 15-hit attack for the Nationals tonight. No balls and a strike. Again, it's guys hit 7th, 8th, 9th in the big league lineup usually for a reason.
Yeah.
In 5 games, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Reds and Nationals have combined for 19 runs batted in. That's far too many. As Escobar, an 0-2 count. That's a little bloop behind first. Olson drifting back, and Matt puts that away, and that'll retire the side. 9 come up, 5 come home. It's all Nats in game 1.
Anticipated replica ring night here at Truist Park. Seems to have been quite a hit. I know hearing from the fans here that they looked at this similar model, and I'm going to show it off for you guys here because sometimes the pictures don't always do it justice, but just like the Braves in the celebrations all weekend, really knocked this out of the park when you look at all the diamonds in the A, just like the players' rings. You got the oblong diamonds, the logo right there, of course the pearl with the Commissioner's Trophy, and the for the A on the bottom there, just like what we got, right, Chip, Jeff? I think, and if fans didn't have a chance to get here tonight, Chip, I know you wanted to do this again. What are the 2 nights that they can come? May 23rd and June 8th, right? They'll have a chance to get 40,000. Well, they won't get 40,000. Let me try this again. There will be 40,000 of these given out once again on those 2 nights.
Yeah, that's right. We can have our fans flash their championship rings in the eyes of the Phillies and the Oakland A's, right? Yeah. To distract them.
And Kelly, there's going to be 4 less rings because they're going to go to my kids, so they'll stop playing with my ring.
That's a great idea. It's a great giveaway. In fact, the Braves have a fantastic promotional schedule all summer long. Great bobblehead series as always. I think Austin Riley's
tomorrow night, right?
I think it is tomorrow night.
April 12th.
Yeah, that is tomorrow. So you want to join us for that? And that bobblehead is for the first 15,000. So you really need to get here early tomorrow as Bell handles a short hop off the bat of Manny Pena. And Harvey, the new Nationals pitcher, PFP never gets old, does it? And he gets the bag in plenty of time for out number 1. Hunter Harvey has been with the Orioles for his entire career, so he gets to continue to play in the Beltway, this time with the Nationals. And Orlando Arcia, the hitter, he's 0 for 2 tonight. 2 flyouts for Orlando. That's what Hunter did last season. Nationals bullpen, only one left-handed reliever. That's Sean Doolittle. Everybody else right-handed for them. And we have seen Arano and now Harvey following Rogers, who pitched 5 1/3 innings of shutout ball for Washington. Excuse me, 1-run ball for Washington tonight. That run came in the first inning, and that's the only inning in which the Braves have a hit tonight. There's Sean. He's reworked his mechanics and has that fastball back up to 93 miles an hour. So we'll see him at some point in the series. As Arcia takes ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braves need 10 to tie, 11 to win tonight. They've got 5 outs left. Three balls, 2 strikes. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. Dave Martinez, the Nationals skipper. That's trying for their second win tonight. Braves started play at 2-2. 2 more games left on the homestand, and we head west. And Arcia chased a high fastball, didn't get that. There's out number 2. Here's Ozzie. Game started with a bang for Albies, a leadoff double. He scored on a 2-out Ozuna single. So Albies 1 for 3 tonight. Nick Rogers in that interesting delivery was very effective tonight. Good for him. He was called up today after Anibal Sanchez went to the injured list. Nats weren't sure what they were going to get out of him. What they got is a great chance to win the ball game tonight.
Well, it's funny though, because you look at his numbers from last year, 2-2 with what, a 3.28 or something, and 6 starts. I mean, that's pretty darn good.
And it falls in line with what we've talked about on the homestand earlier. Do you believe what you saw in September? Do you believe what you see in March?
Yeah.
You know, but hey.
But 6 starts? You're also pitching in August some.
Right. There's a strike. And for a man that's come back from 2 Tommy John surgeries, that's almost Johnny Venters like.
Yeah.
Lose 2 full seasons to recovery from that injury and come back and pitch as well as he did against the world champs. Well, that's a big feather in your cap. Harvey's not trying to hit Albies, which has got away from him, something that plagued the Nationals in their series with the Mets. They hit 5 Mets hitters in 4 games, and that was certainly not appreciated by Buck Showalter.
It didn't make him happy.
No. 2-2. Full count. Ozzie didn't even move. to center, where Robles backpedals a step or two. And Ozzie and the Braves are done in the 8th. To the 9th we go. 11-1 Washington. Nationals have 2 5-run innings, Jeff, and they broke the game open against Huascar Ynoa in the 3rd.
He was 1 strike away from getting out of that 3rd at 1-1. 3 pitches later, it was 5-1, and it just kind of, when you keep having runners on base, first 2 innings he was able to kind of maneuver his way out. After that, it kind of broke open, and offensively the Braves just weren't able to get anybody on and put any pressure on, and it turns into one of these nights.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating because you led 1-0 after an inning, got your first 2 hits, and no hits for the Braves over the last 7 innings offensively. That doesn't happen too often.
Unfortunately, in baseball, no matter how good you are, this happens from time to time.
Well, better now than
yeah, and like September. You said, at that point, get them all out. Get your hits out here.
The Nationals tonight are an astounding 7 for 21 with runners in scoring position. 21 at bats with a runner at second or third base.
I wonder when the last time they've had that many out. I mean,
I can't remember a game where
people score 15, but a lot of times it's a 3, some home runs and 21 chances with runners in scoring position. That's a lot.
Braves with 1-1-2-3 inning pitched in this game. Cesar Hernandez is up for the 6th time tonight. And he takes low. There have been a ton of full counts too. I mean, it's been one of those just rough slogs where the lack of work in spring training, I think, is really apparent. Last night Ian Anderson, today Huascar Ynoa starting. And the play jumping around on Tucker Davidson, who overthrew that and issues a leadoff walk. So Hernandez reaches for the 3rd time in the game. And here's Soto again. Soto's been a little frustrated the last 2 at bats. He's popped out twice to center, and each time he felt like he missed his pitch. See if Tucker can subdue him here. And Braves Live presented by Xfinity follows us. The big question for Brian Snitker and his post-game scrum will be, who's starting tomorrow? Snit said, depending on how we get there, could be Tucker Davidson. Well, he's in tonight's game because Ian Anderson went short yesterday and the bullpen had to be used a lot. Tonight, Ynoa went 3.
I mean, I think you got, quite frankly, 2 options. You're either bringing back Max Fried or you're calling somebody else up.
Yeah. Which could happen.
Yeah.
2-2. Little tapper. Tucker shovels to Olson. Nice play. Advances the runner. There's out number 1. Hal Galima looked it up for us. Last May, the Nats had a game where they had 21 at-bats with runners in scoring position. That was against Arizona. They went 9 for 26 in those situations in that game. That's a long night. There's no way to sugarcoat it. So we'll see what Snit and Alex Anthopoulos come up with after the game tonight.
That's what now the 22nd chance with runners in scoring position.
Here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz at 41 years of age is in tremendous shape. Huge baseball fan, not just a great baseball player, but a player who certainly has benefited from the rules change, allowing the DH in both leagues. That doubled his market, and he ended up in Washington. As this one skied toward right center. Duvall to the warning track at the wall, leaps and makes the grab. Runner tags, heads to third. Cruz just missed.
Well, you said it. 8th hitter tonight, Maikel Franco, 5 RBIs tonight, and he is our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. 4 hits, 2 singles, double, home run. That first one, 111 off the bat, and then the home run on the hanging slider and double over Rosario's head that cleared the bases. 5 ribbies for him tonight. Got healthy.
So Josh Bell, the last hitter we hope in the inning. This one into shallow center. It'll carry out to Duvall, who makes a nice running catch. And that sends us to the bottom of the 9th inning. Get your rally caps on, Braves country. It's 11-1.
And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Fans of the game, no doubt. Those 4 guys get the fans of the game tonight.
I'm really shocked you did that. I don't think there was a Frenchie's Blue can in there.
They're not out yet. Another couple weeks.
Well, see.
But those 4 guys had a good time tonight regardless.
Yes, they did. D. Strange Gordon. Flash Gordon's son is out in left field. That shifts Lane Thomas to right. And the Nationals' Jake Rogers looking on with a big smile on his face. With 3 more outs, he's going to pick up a win in his debut tonight. But Matt Olson will try to pick up the first Braves hit since the first inning. New pitcher on for Washington, Patrick Murphy. He'll try to close this one out. Not a save situation, obviously. As that buzzes inside to Matt, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Harvey, what a perfect inning. And off the plate, ball 2, 2-0. Two balls and a strike for Matt Olson. Pitching lines for the Braves tonight. Huascar Ynoa, 5 runs in his 3 innings. Spencer Strider, 1 run in 3 1/3 with 3 strikeouts. Tucker Davidson, 2 1/3 innings, 5 runs, 5 hits, and a couple of walks. Olson the other way, bounds that foul. It's 2-2. We made the comparison to Matt and Soto. One thing I've noticed about Matt, like Soto, he lets the ball travel. He's quick enough, strong enough to really see the ball that extra split second, which
I trust his hands. You see how he chokes up a little bit there with 2 strikes. Give yourself a little extra time.
2-2. Almost hit him. I would think as a pitcher, you see those hands away from the body. What an inviting target. Throw it right under the knob of the bat.
Yeah, I think guys know enough now, though, watching the film.
Yeah.
If you come in just like that pitch in the first one, you got to get in there off the plate.
So full count for Olson. And he shoots it to left. Will he keep that one fair? Nope. But this is another facet of his game that makes him such a dangerous hitter. He is not a dead red, sit on the ball, pull it to right field kind of guy. He's already shown Jeff line to line and plenty of power to hit the ball out in center here at home.
And he'll take his walks. Another one tonight.
So 3-2 again for Olson. 8th pitch coming from Murphy. And there you go, Jeff. Leadoff walk. That'll make a pitching coach grab the Rolaids. A leadoff walk with a 10-run lead. But there's the start for the Braves. And here's Austin Riley, a couple of strikeouts. That's pitched him tough tonight, especially Aranya with that sinker. It ate him up.
Yeah.
Strike one for Austin. Braves saw Patrick Murphy last September. 4 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings. Pitched with Toronto and the Nationals, of course. I think he's got his glove from his Blue Jays days. That light blue doesn't match their uniform colors, does it? One ball, one strike. Either that or he borrowed it from Braves legend Dale Murphy. It's got Murph written on the side of the glove. Hope Murph's watching the game tonight. There's only one Murph. Patrick, with all due respect. He wore number 3, the pitch. And that's strike 3 to Austin Riley. He strikes out for the 3rd time. This one looking. And that's the first out of the 9th inning. Again, that ball backed up. Glav said it all the time. If a major league pitcher could do that on purpose, they'd never lose a game.
It's a great equalizer.
Man, oh man. So Ozuna is the last Brave with a hit tonight. That was in the 1st inning. It was a 2-out single. It scored Ozzie Albies, and it looked like the Braves were going to be on their way. And there we go. Ozuna's got 2 hits. And 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Third hit of the game for Atlanta, and Ozuna's 2 hits were almost in exactly the same place.
Yeah, he looks good so far this season. The hands look quick.
Yeah, it's going to be a big lift offensively, getting him back and getting Ronald Acuna back in a couple of weeks. I believe Ronald's, if not already on his way, pretty close to heading down to Northport to start his rehab, if you will. It's not just about getting the knee in shape, it's getting the baseball muscles back in shape, obliques, hamstrings, and the like. So we'll look forward to Ronald's return for Atlanta as Duvall hits. Duvall's popped up 3 times. And Murphy can't get together with Keibert Ruiz. Let's check the cards. Where's PitchCom when you need it? I'm sure is what Dave Martinez is saying. Now they're on the proverbial same page as Duvall digs in. 2 on, 1 out. Braves have their first hit since the first inning here in the ninth. How do you think you would have done with PitchCom? The headset, just push a button, tell you where to throw it. That would have helped. You're a great reliever for 1 inning.
2.
Well, the second one wasn't so good.
Yeah, but I battled. I work quick, I can tell you that. I got it and threw it.
Well, where are you when we need you the most?
I'm up here by you.
Yeah. Would you have liked it, you think, or did you?
No.
No? 1 ball, no strikes. I was listening to MLB Network Radio today, and one of the Phillies pitchers, I can't remember which, said one of the concerns that JT Realmuto has is you push the button, the pitcher says no. You push another button, pitcher says no. You get to your third or fourth signal, everybody forgets what you've pushed. So then JT Realmuto said, I got to go back to standard signals, which sort of defeats the whole purpose, right?
How many teams are using it? Did they ever find out?
I don't know the answer to that. I know the Braves.
The Reds did, but obviously the Nats aren't.
Haven't seen it. The Braves just weren't real comfortable with it at this point. 2-0 count. Right out of play. But I will say that this game notwithstanding, the pace of the series games against the Reds was pretty good.
Yeah, I totally agree. But, you know, with that being said, think about Kyle Wright, Charlie Morton, those guys were working fast, good groove.
It's getting us ready for the pitch clock, which will probably be coming next year. 2 balls and a strike. Broken bat, little flare, that might drop. Robles can't get it. Everybody's safe. Here comes a runner around third. Throw is going to be off target. And Matt Olson scores from second.
He actually ran through. Wash was holding him up, but I think Matt wanted to say, I want to show you I can score from second. I need something good.
He slid and almost came to a skidding stop before he got to the plate, though. But the Braves have a run. And an RBI for Adam Duvall. Braves have 2 hits in the inning. It's now 11-2. It's amazing how often it happens no matter the score. In the 9th inning, you get a leadoff walk, how often it comes in to score. And that was the case here. Olson was passed to start the 9th, and that's the second Braves run. 11-2. Here's Rosario. And he takes one across the shoe tops. And here comes Matt Olson around third. I think I can. I think I can.
You see Wash with the hand up holding him.
I know I can. Gotta have fun, folks. 1 ball, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. Paulo Espino is up in the Nationals bullpen. Braves saw him a lot last year. I think, if memory serves, they liked what they saw too.
Yeah, it doesn't throw hard. I'm sure it's the last thing Dave Martinez wants to do is have to warm somebody up right now.
Out of play, foul. On the ground to second. They'll go there for 1. The return to first is going to be late. Atlanta has runners at the corners, but they're down to their last out. And Dansby will be the hitter. Dansby's 0 for 3. Braves will announce their starter after the game on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. Patrick Corbin's going to pitch for the Nationals. It's a 7:20 first pitch. And Braves Live pregame will come your way at 6:30 Eastern Time. Jeff and I will be with you for play-by-play. As the 1-0 coming to Dansby Swanson. And foul back for an even count. One and two. One more strike for the Nationals and Jake Rogers. The pitch. Swanson held up. 11 runs, 15 hits for the Nationals, who left 11 men on base. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Braves. They had 2 hits in the first inning, 2 hits here in the 9th, and not much luck in between against 4 Nationals pitchers. And a 3-2 count. Manny Pena would hit next. Braves are down to their last out. They're down to their last strike. The payoff pitch, here it is. Lifted toward right, and that should be playable for Lane Thomas. He's got it, and the Nationals beat the Braves in game 1 by a final score of 11-2. Couple of big innings haunted Tucker Davidson and Huascar Ynoa, and Jeff, 1 run in the first, 1 in the 9th, not enough in the middle to make a game of this one.
No, and this is one of those that you kind of go in and it's a lot. Sometimes it's a lot easier to take, Chip, than that 3-2 heartbreaker. You just say, you know what, we got to come back. We got to win 2 ball games and win the series and get out of here 4-3. We'll see what they do pitching wise, but offense got to come swing the bats tomorrow.
And they'll face Patrick Corbin of the Nationals. You will hear Brian Snitker, I would assume, announce who will start the game tomorrow. That's coming up in his post-game scrum on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. 11-2. The Nationals beat the Braves in our Eastern Division season opener. Game 2 comes your way tomorrow with our coverage starting at 6:30. We'll be on Bally Sports Southeast. For Kelly Kroll, for Jeff Francoeur, and our entire crew, I'm Chip Carey. Thank you for joining us. 11-2 Washington, your final score. We'll have Game 2 action for you tomorrow night, and Braves Live presented by Xfinity next.
This is Braves Live presented by Xfinity. Braves fall to the Washington Nationals 11-2 on a day where the replica rings were handed out. We welcome you in to another edition of Braves Live right here at the Battery. Outside of Truist Park, Trevor Scales, Peter Moreland, Brian Jordan here with you to wrap things up. And fellas, it was one of those nights where your offense just couldn't quite get going, even though you got it cracking off the bat in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, this is one of those nights. Jeff said it at the end of the telecast that you go inside, you talk about it, you work out what went wrong, and then you move on. It's almost easier to accept than those close losses, but as I said, tonight you just got to move on, forget about it. Great job by Tucker. As much as the results weren't there, he saved our bullpen tonight, so you got to look for that next few games in this series.
I did not expect this tonight because, you know, you had all weekend with all the celebrations and, you know, like you said, the walk-away 2-2 was great. Today, they were able to get into their routine, get ready for this ball game against a young pitcher I did not expect the results today. Give credit to Washington. They jumped all over our starting pitching and never looked back. Those guys were putting the ball in play, making it happen.
You talk about needing to flush it and move on. That's exactly what Huascar Ynoa, the starting pitcher, needs to do. He's our 4 keys to the game because the top of the third was brutal for that brother, Pete.
Yeah, he just looked, he couldn't get comfortable. He showed glimpses of what he could be in the first 2 innings, and then his fastball control went away from him. His slider didn't have the same depth that it did in the first inning. He gave up a few hits, and he just wasn't really able to get back on to find himself. Short spring training, underdone. I didn't see a lot of him in spring training. I think he was doing a lot of work on the backfields, but you can see that he is just not sharp and just not 100% just yet. Obviously, he made some good pitches. The velocity was there, as I said, and he did throw a couple of good sliders. One to Bell in the first inning to strike him out, but unfortunately, just the consistency wasn't there. And with Franco as hot as he was tonight, it was really tough for us to get through this lineup.
You know, I didn't know what to expect from Ynoa. And, you know, like you said, I didn't see a lot of him in spring training, but it just seems to me he fell behind every hitter. That first inning, he went 3-2 to every batter that he faced, which I had a problem with. You know, to me, you're not confident in your stuff. You know, we said the slider was really nasty. When he had control of that pitch, it was dominant. But he just didn't do enough tonight. And I know Brian Snitker and the whole staff has to be worried.
Yeah, Huascar Ynoa finishes the night just 3 innings, gives up 5 earned in that first 3-frame appearance for him. To move on to the Washington Nationals and to BJ's point, give credit where it's due. Toyota, let's go places. Michael Franco comes in and gives Huascar Ynoa the first home run he's given up against the Nats.
He was good against with us when he was with the Phillies as well. He seemed to really punish us every time he comes to the plate, and he's a very good fastball hitter, as you can see here. Huascar's throwing about 98, 99 miles an hour right here, and he just turns on that like it's nothing. Tries to go with something different later on and hung a slider. That's not the slider we're used to seeing from him at all, and Franco took full advantage. 4 for 4 tonight, 2 singles, 2-run home run, and a double and 5 RBIs. And you can just see he was on everything tonight. It was one of those nights where he was clearly seeing the ball really well, and we had nothing for him.
You know, this guy had me baffled because with the Phillies, he was just unbelievable against us. And all of a sudden, you didn't hear anything about him for the next couple of years. But he is back in Washington, the player that I saw when he played in Philadelphia, spraying the ball all over the field. You know, we knew he had power. You cannot hang a slider to him. And you saw what he did to the fastball. He's willing to get his hands in, go the other way. Just a terrific night for him. 5 RBIs. He did it all for Washington.
This lineup's going to put some numbers up against some good pitching. I think there's a couple of guys in there that you need to be worried about with Cruz and Soto and all the rest of it. This isn't a bad lineup, so we've got to focus a little bit the next 2 days, take advantage of this team that we should beat and take 2 out of 3.
That's it. Just kind of move on from this one, though. The 11-2 final is not something that you want to harp on whatsoever, but Matt Olson can actually take something positive away from this one. He scored from second. The big fella got out and stretched out a little bit.
Rumbling and stumbling.
Had to run through a stop sign to do it.
What was it? Eye socket to hip pocket? That's what it was? Not bad technique, Matt. Have to live with pests. Braves lose 11-2 on their NL East divisional opener against the Washington Nationals. Trevor Scales, Peter Moreland, Brian Jordan here with you. Post-game on Braves Live. And fellas, we know it's one that you want to forget, but especially for Huascar Ynoa, who was pulled after 3 in the third, goes 3 innings flat for him. But Spencer Strider stepped in. He's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot performance of the night and kind of carried the water for the fellas for a little bit.
Yeah, he did. He wasn't the same Strider that we saw the other night, who was dominant at the top of the zone and didn't really miss a spot. But what you did get to see tonight was a Spencer Strider that was able to get through 3 1/3 without his best stuff. And that tells me everything I need to know about him and his future in this bullpen. He got through. He was, as I said, he wasn't exactly lighting up the radar gun like he was the other night. I saw a couple of pitches at 94, 95, 96, but he battled. He battled against a decent lineup, and he was able to cover some innings with him and Davidson to save that bullpen for the next 2 days. We talked about how important that was against the Cincinnati Reds when they wasted a lot of bullpen arms in the first 2 games, how that was going to play out at the end of the series. This is hopefully going to be good for us. We're going to have a lot of arms, fresh arms for the next 2 games.
To me, he showed versatility. You know, I had a chance to watch him in spring training where he was a starter, you know, trying to stretch him out, get ready for the season. Well, he came in that first inning, the first game, where he just dominated for 3 innings, throwing that fastball, where today, I think he knew he had to extend it out, so you didn't see that overpowering fastball. He was mixing it in with sliders, looking more like a starter and getting through innings. I trust Strider. He showed that tonight, and I think he's going to show that to Snit and those guys. We may see him in that starting rotation.
That's what I was just going to say. It'd be really interesting to see what happens either tomorrow. We're going to find out, I'm sure, and then what happens next time around in that starter spot, who they go with there. There are some options, but this is that depth that we keep talking about and that we're going to need all year long.
We're going to hear from Brian Snitker here in just a moment, actually. Braves Live rolls on here from outside Truist Park after an 11-2 loss for your Atlanta Braves to the Washington Nationals. We'll hear from Skip on the other side here on Bally Sports Southeast.
Better ingredients, better pizza means that every bite of this slice just keeps getting better. From the first bite to the dunk. And just when you're thinking this slice can't get any better, you get to that epic stuffed crust that's hand-stuffed with cheese.
What's the latest buzz? It's Ford's fresh lineup of SUVs.
Series. Braves Live is brought to you by Xfinity, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. By Georgia Power. And by Regions Bank. The 9-run loss is the first time the Braves have lost this season after scoring the first run. It boiled down to a rough start for pitching from Huascar Ynoa. Let's hear from manager Brian Snitker in your Xfinity post-game press conference.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of all over the place. Didn't like get any rhythm. Any release points were different. The rhythm wasn't good. Just wasn't real, wasn't velocity and all that. Stuff was okay. Just the command and kind of getting in a flow was rough for him. So, just hopefully that, they have this first one, they get it out of the way, they see what they did, they go to work, in between, and the next one's, they got a better idea of where they're going. I don't know. I mean, it's at some point in time we're gonna have to turn the page on all that, because he stretched out good, and it just wasn't a real good night.
He wasn't the same when he came back from the injury last year.
Right.
But we saw it before the injury, and
Yeah.
obviously it wasn't anything with the injury that would affect him permanently.
No. I mean, like I say, we just see, and this guy's, we forget how far this kid's come the last couple of years too, where he was, and so he's still trying to figure things out. I mean, he's not a finished product yet, and but we saw how good that his stuff can play, and he's going to go through bumps in the road, and whether it's beginning, middle, end, and but you know what, he's receptive to what they talked to him about, and I know in spring training they had him in the office, in the room one day, and they were going over video, and he's receptive to stuff. He gets it, and I think, I have confidence in him in making his adjustments that he needs to make.
Tucker went pitch tonight, obviously, so you decided tomorrow then?
No, we're still kind of, when I go back in, we're still working through all that. We're probably going to bring up 2 guys, actually.
So just make sure Max still gets that extra.
Max is going to get the extra day. Yeah, we're kind of, I think we need to hang with that. I mean, just for long term, and it won't be every start. I mean, there's going to be times where we're going to, them guys will go on 5 days, but anytime we can, and, we just kind of feel like right now it's important to do that for the long haul.
How much does that mess you up that you had to get in there and use David?
Yeah, I mean, because he was the guy we were kind of going to start. I mean, but, you have 2 starts, short starts in a row, man, it digs on you a little bit, and you have to, try and survive and get the thing right, and hopefully, whoever we call on tomorrow can stretch the game for us a little bit, because that's a tough, everybody that we had to use yesterday, and Spencer did a great job. He came in and held the game there. We didn't, we swing the bats. Who knows? We might get to the back end guys, and not have to use Tucker, and then could have used him tomorrow. But we just, they gave us a chance, like Spencer gave us a chance to come back in that game, and we just couldn't get anything going offensively to get to the guys that we wanted to late in the game.
How encouraging is it that guy like Spencer who has not a lot of experience, but right now you can say, boy, I could like him here in the 8th inning, or I could
Well, I actually feel that way about him. You know, I visualize him being a guy that could be in back end of the bullpen, and it's a learning experience for him. You know, I said, you know, when we started, I mean, he's got limited professional experience, and the stuff's improved. I mean, just getting out there and getting extended like he did a little bit tonight is good for him. And he did a good job. I mean, he wasn't real sharp like he was the other night, but, you know, he extended the game for us and gave us a chance to come back. I had a good feeling. I was sitting there, and I felt like we were down 10-0, and I looked at the scoreboard, and we were down 5-1. I'm thinking, well, shoot, this is doable. And just offensively, we couldn't get anything going, but he gave us that opportunity, which is credit to him.
Thinking about Strider not having his best stuff, but he only gave up 1 run even when he wasn't even in the game anymore. Can you talk about what it is like to have him to have his best stuff?
No, like I say, I think that's just, and this stuff's good. It's just the command of it, like all of them's going to be. But he did a good job. I mean, I really like what I see in him because he keeps pitching. I mean, I know that he keeps getting after it and keeps pitching, and it's going to be situations. And just talking to him after, he's going to learn every time he goes out. He's going to learn something else, and you know, an experience that he hadn't had before. But he's got the right makeup, he's got the right focus, and he's got a big arm. You know, and he has stuff, and that plays. And you know, the more we get him out there, the better he's going to be.
You talked about how well you guys hit the ball the last 4 games tonight. I mean, is it just, you know?
I know, yeah. I can't explain it. I mean, it's sometimes you face a guy that you haven't seen, I don't know, much of, and they come in and it's just baseball. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
What do you think Rogers did well against you guys?
I don't know, he just, I guess, changed speeds, made pitches, I don't know. I mean, just, you know what, left-handers, you know, it's kind of like they're a different breed. I mean, they're different, and he was throwing strikes, you know, he's going at them, and he was keeping the ball out of the fat part of the plate, pretty much. He did a really good job. I mean, he got kind of a rushed-up start, too, it sounds like, for him, and he responded very well.
If the timing lined up and there was a need for a rotation spot, could you use Spencer in there in the future?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. He's been stretched out, so, you know, if that spot comes around, he, like I say, we've stretched him out to where he definitely would fit that MO, yeah.
Thinking about his quick trajectory to the MLB, can you talk about how his potential, his ceiling is for you guys?
Oh, I think it's limitless. I mean, I like the guy. I mean, I think he's got a great grasp on this thing. A young guy in that situation when the runner broke early and he had the wherewithal to step off and assess the situation, that can be a yard sale with a young pitcher. And he didn't. He did everything right and got an out. And just how he held the ball was very impressive, which is hard to get, like, sometimes to get young guys to do. And you know, that showed me a lot right there. That situation. The game didn't speed up on him real good there. So I've seen a lot of really good good qualities, mound presence, things like that, confidence in Spence. So there's a lot to really like with this kid.
Still a lot of questions surrounding the pitching situation as we take a look at your Georgia Drive Chevy upcoming schedule. We will take on Patrick Corbin more than likely for the Nationals. He was unable to notch a win against Atlanta last season. We'll continue the conversation regarding postgame here on the other side right here on Bally Sports Southeast. Questions regarding who is taking the bump for your Atlanta Braves tomorrow, but one thing's for certain and two things off for sure. Spencer Strider, something special. You can carry that into tomorrow's performance as you hope to bounce back against these Washington Nationals. We will be here with the Little Braves live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, leading you into Game 2 of this 3-game series against our first NL East opponent of the season. Braves fall 11-2 tonight, looking to bounce back tomorrow. Until then, we'll holla at y'all.